Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome
Hey, everybody.
to the show. How's everybody doing today? Chris, Barb, what's
Good.
up?
Doing hot.
How are you?
Yeah, doing good. We got Ninja Dave in the house. Welcome, Ninja Dave. Catherine. Hello, Nicole. Hello, Samantha. Standing Stones. Peter from UK. So yes, how is everybody, and how's everybody's week been going? My question.
Good.
Well,
Go ahead, Barb. You go first.
no, I just, as you guys know, I've had a little bit of some craziness around here with the activity, but we can get into that in a little bit.
Yeah.
Hi, Catherine.
So,
Hi, Norma. Norma's joining
here
us.
I'm trying to do stuff at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm
Yeah.
like trying to explain elementals. I'm
I
trying to
know.
explain, I was like, do you not remember that one guy on the show talking about divorce and those little overalls and stuff? And,
Yeah.
but yeah, so
And I'm
everybody's like,
messaging you
what?
back like over
Yeah.
you, like, look at this.
Yeah, everybody's like, what the hell are you talking about? Well, we're getting ready to take you on a little journey, ladies and gentlemen. So there are things out there I told you before that exist that people don't know about.
Mm-hmm.
So, and my thing is, yes, craziness is Peter, that is correct, is that so my thing is, and here's my belief, and this is for me learning. Okay. So if you have a lot of activity of such creature or a creature of whatever you want to call it, label it, you most of the time have other things around the supernatural with that as
Right.
well, whether it's dogman, elementals, fairies. I know it sounds funny, ladies and gentlemen. I know, trust me, but you got to bear with me. Crazy Wits, he's late, but he's coming around the last corner. He loves it when I do that, like the Kentucky Derby. But anyways, but yes. So what's been going on at your place?
At my place?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I didn't. Well, let's see. So the first, was it Sunday that I was, what was I doing? Just walking. Oh, I know. Just doing some stuff, yard work. And I thought, oh, look at the pretty flowers over in the active area next to my house. These lupine grow, which are these like tall, pink, purple, white flowers, and they just grow wild, and they're really pretty. They're only around for a little while, and I'm like, I'm just going to take a little walk in there, and not too far in, because remember I said that I don't want to disturb whatever's going on over there. So I went in and I was taking pictures of the flowers, and I see this, like, it almost looked like a dog, but only on camera, and it was about maybe, I don't know, I'm not good with distance, maybe 75, 100 feet away. And I could see it clearly on camera. I could not see it with my naked eye. I mean, and I'm like, wait, what is that? And where is it? And so I'm like, I'm going to switch my video on, not thinking that I was going to catch anything and not thinking that I would ever show this video to anybody because it's kind of ridiculous, you know. But so this thing, as I'm watching it, it started to change, is the only thing I can say, like transform. And it seemed like it kind of went back maybe into the ferns, like into the whatever it was under. And then it came back out briefly, but then it disappeared. And I was like, what in the world? And immediately when that happened, I heard, and you can hear it on the video, you could hear like walking bipedal movement on both sides of me. And then stuff started to fall, like the stuff started to fall out of the trees as if, let's say, the wind was blowing, but it wasn't. And, you know, like, I don't know, was it pine cones? I don't know, just things falling out. And I'm like, okay, well, time for me to go. So that was that.
What'd you think about it, Chris?
Yeah, it was interesting for sure. I mean, you probably got that sense, you know, from other things, not just what's going on around you, but usually once you have that feeling somebody's watching you, you also sometimes have that feeling, okay, it's time to go.
Yeah.
And yeah, you sense that. So I've been in the woods and had that feeling before, and it's a weird feeling. You just want to get out of there. You know, it's not time to be here.
Right.
So, but yeah, watching your video was pretty cool. And the fact that you can see at one point there was something there, and then it goes away. I mean, the same shot, same scene, and you're like, okay, she's must not have been crazy. She saw something because it's there.
Yeah, you know,
it's
funny.
not real clear, but you can see it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And people will, and this makes me so mad because now I'm in that situation, you know, where people will like make fun of, why don't you hold your hand still, blah, blah, blah. Well, when you're in that moment, you know, I was not worried about getting a clear video or whatever. This was for me to take a look at, you know, it wasn't for like, oh, I'm going to show this all over the, you know.
Does that get you in the moment now? Yes,
we know.
ladies and gentlemen.
Same kind of moment. Here we go into the ditch.
So yeah,
but yeah.
She's going to play the video. Yes, she is. So bear with us, ladies and gentlemen.
How do I do? You know what? It's on YouTube though. So how do I do that?
Share the link.
So you bring it up on YouTube. Yeah, and you hit present.
Okay.
Then hit share screen.
Wait. All right. This could take a while, so you guys can just like talk about stuff on your own.
So thanks for the intro music on that that countdown clock. I love it. Yeah, you did really.
No problem. No problem.
I really did.
They both came out good.
Yeah, man. I played it on the other show for the first time, and people had no idea what was coming backstage. They were like, and I was like, yeah, Chris did a good job when they stand up and do this. You know, because when they saw the clock, they're like, yeah, okay, another clock. But when they heard that music, they're like, uh-oh. It's like, yeah. So Norma, welcome to the show. Hello there. Rebecca, hello. No, the dolls have been messing with a lot of things today. I was going to duct tape my EMF detector to my forehead during the shows earlier. So, yeah, I mean, that's how bad it was, Chris. Yeah, so it was pretty interesting.
Oop.
So,
I think
you know, I love when somebody goes, and they never finish.
Sorry.
Like, what do you mean,
I can hear it. Wait, is it? No.
So there's a little button down the bottom left-hand corner before you hit the video. It says share audio. That's the one I always forget to hit.
Okay.
And then once you do that, it'll pop up. There we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
You see it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then how do I make that like bigger?
I think I can't. No, I can't on my side. That's right.
No, you can't. Or can you?
No, not on my side. Hold on. Let me try this.
All right.
This is so weird because I cannot see that with my eyes.
Try hitting Control Plus, Barb. Let's see if that works.
Heck? Wait, where is it now? Wait.
It may or may not.
It didn't do anything.
It might not.
No, there, it's still there.
No, it's not doing anything. Darn it.
Or you can share it to Grizzly.
Yeah, I got it. Hold on. Let me stand by, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh,
Here,
wow.
let me hit a couple of buttons here and bring me. I don't know why I never have my Facebook open. Let's see here.
So if you see me sweating, it's not because my background is really hot. My AC isn't working, so it's like 86 degrees in my house and very humid and miserable. So if I get that look in my face, why? That'd be why.
I thought you were just saying that you were being sexy earlier. That's why you
No,
said
I'm hot. I'm hot, literally.
No, when you said you were hot, I was like, "Well, okay. Well, if you think you're hot and sexy, that's fine. You know, I'm not going to deny that."
Figured I'd pick a background that would match a little bit. So,
let's see here. All right, here, ladies and gentlemen. Let me bring up this video here and stop it. And let me hit a couple more buttons here. Present, share screen. And let me make sure I hit the audio. There we go. Now let me see if I can blow it up some. All right, here we go.
Oh yeah, started over. This is like so embarrassing with the video, with the audio.
Nothing but a thing. All right, here we go. Did I get it any bigger? No, I made it smaller. Okay.
I was taking some pictures of flowers in there.
Where's that?
I'm seeing something on my.
That's not me.
My camera. Right there.
that's you.
That's not me. This is an infomercial.
This is not you?
See that with my.
No, that. The video's me. The audio's not me.
What?
I know what's happening.
Are you serious?
Am I allowed to say out? Yeah, that's not me. No.
You're punking me out.
Was...
That's your voice.
No.
Put it back on.
I'm afraid to put it back on now. I don't know what's going to be said.
Oh, look. No, it's this lady. It's wait a minute. Hold on. How is this on my other? Okay. Did I just lose it? Like, I think I lost the. Okay.
No, hold on. You got rid of yours. Let me bring up mine back. Yeah.
Oh
I was like, she told me to bring it back up. I ain't bring it back up. That's not her voice.
Before I show you, you guys are going to have to sit through an infomercial.
I was like, what the hell is she talking about? All right, here we go.
I was taking some pictures of the flowers in there. And I'm seeing something on my camera. Right there.
Yep, that's it.
Barb, why didn't you hold it still?
I know, right?
My eyes.
Don't try to see with your eyes when you're trying to be filming something.
That's just the sun reflecting off the leaf.
Yeah. That was not me either.
The brown thing. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it's.
You got your pictures spooled up? Or do you want me to bring this up too? That's all right. So you see where she's looking at. So let me bring up the pictures here. So let me stop the screen.
What I have to do is I have to have my daughter probably here when I have a show, and she can show me how to do all this.
Nah, it's nothing but a thing here. Let me close this out and let me go back to Facebook here. And of course, let's see here, because I can blow these pictures up.
Okay.
By using my fingers. Let's see here. I wonder why it's doing that.
I sent them. I want to make sure I sent them. I sent them to you, right?
Yeah, you did. For some reason, I had to close it out and go back in.
Okay.
All right, here. Now let me go to the pictures. All right, here. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. All right, now.
Yeah, so there's the thing. I don't know, like it looked like kind of like a dog, but then I also see like eyes and a nose. I don't know. It kind of looks like what's that Dobby from from Harry Potter?
Mm-hmm.
So when I had some other people look at it that are more used to, they're used to looking at pictures of like Bigfoot cloaking and things like that, and they circled that above it. In the video, you can see what looks like eyes blinking. So I have the video posted on my page, on my No Drama Bigfoot and Cryptid page, so you can all check it out whenever, and after the show I can put it in the link. So,
well, I noticed that, and there was a couple other ones I noticed during the video or the pictures. So, but I was working on other stuff, and because because that was obvious right there.
Yeah.
And to show everybody, let me go with the next one here. See how
it's all blurry enough to be legit for sure.
Yeah, right. But
Wait,
then you got something right here.
Oh yeah,
looking
there's
out.
something peeking. Yeah.
So
that looks typical of what I get.
If you look, let me use my mouse because you can't see my finger right here. I saw that one.
Uh-huh.
So, and this is not Paradoria, guys. It's and then this one right here.
Wait, where?
Right here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's looks like a couple. Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
So when this is where I talk about where people have things on the property, and I'll go back a couple of pictures here.
If you notice, I think in this picture, right? If you zoom into that area, that thing's gone.
Yeah, it's not there.
Yeah, so that was I mean that was it's just the weirdest thing.
See? Before.
Yeah. I mean that looks like a dog to me.
And gone.
I mean it could be a dog. Yeah, and then it's gone. Yeah. And what was weird was when it was like transforming in the middle of the video.
And this is the one I saw right there. See it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's great to have other people look at them, and because I didn't notice any of this.
Now, this one right here is the one I caught. Now, this one, you all can think what you want to think, but there's two eyes, a snout, and a nose.
So you think Dog Man?
I have no idea. I have no idea. So, one of the things that I know is from my experiences with people is that when they have a lot of activity with one creature, and I can say his name, Greg Yost, he was showing a video, some pictures to Nick. Where's that one I was going to show you? It is, see, I'm on a bigger screen, so it's hard for me to, oops, I just lost the standby. Nick Valentine, and Nick's like, dude, do you not see Dog Man? Greg's like, what? I'm not here looking for Bigfoot. He's like, no, you got Dog Man all around you. And he had to show Greg Yost, and Greg was like, oh my God. He's like, we had no idea. He's like, yeah. And this is where people are saying, I lost hold on, I'm trying to find the picture, ladies and gentlemen, where people are saying that Dogman is demonic because the way it is shape-shifting or whatnot. I'm going to go back. Is the picture still up?
No.
No.
Okay. Do you see what I'm doing now?
No.
We can see you, but we can't see any. Like we
All
can
right.
see you.
Let me hit present, share screen. All right, here we go.
Wow.
And he didn't know what he had. And anyways, he had to be pointed out to what was going on.
Yep.
So there was one that you didn't see. Let's see if I can find it again.
Okay.
Let's see here. Where are we? Was it this photograph? No. Hold on. Stand by. Down at the bottom here. Click on this one.
Well, you know, that area, that clump of trees that will not over this far, but over to the left that you just had, that's the area that I got huffed at and like last fall in October, like, you know, grunted at.
So it's not the first thing you've had happen there.
No, this is the really active, like this is the active area, very active. But never had anything like this happen. And just, yeah, bizarre.
That you noticed.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, that's the one I just pointed out a second ago, right? That one right there.
Wait, are we on the?
See
Can
my
you see it?
arrow
I can't see your
right
arrow.
there.
Oh, let me see. Oh, okay. I see half of it. Can you move the?
See, it looks like
right
the hair
there, yes.
down the side.
Yes.
Right there's the nose bridge, the
Yeah,
eye
yeah.
socket, the forehead, the
Yep.
brow,
Yes.
the lip, the jaw, and then hair down below it.
Yeah. Yes.
So, and there was one more. I don't know if it
Very.
was in this picture or another picture. Hold on. It's easier when I got it on the bigger screen. But it was
Right.
weird is because when you said that the activity that you was receiving, I was like, that sounds like a lot of other people. Let me go to the next picture here. I can't remember. I should have. Okay, we know that one. No, that one's too bright.
Oh, I think I was trying to enhance.
Yeah.
To see if I could find anything that was behind where that thingy was.
Sometimes doing that does help. Depends on
sometimes
which
not.
filter.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
There's that
Yeah.
one. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, I see a face.
You see it now?
Right in the, I'm pointing to it like as if you guys can see the bend of the tree. It's like there's like a V in the tree kind of, and then there's something below it, but
Right. That's the one I was
Is
looking at a minute ago. Yeah.
And that one, yeah, you know, there are a couple of photos I have of them that they look so human. And but their
And
skin
this
is
is
like
what
green.
Yeah,
know?
this is what we talk about elementals.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, okay, yeah. Those are the ones. But yeah, that's why I sent that definition of elemental over to you.
Mm-hmm.
Is because usually when you have activity like that, you have more than one. I don't want to say species, but you have more than one critter. I guess you could say.
Right.
So
yeah.
Some people might poop.
Yeah, a lot of people poop their pants when they see that is so common. That's such a common thing. Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely here. So, but no, it is, and it's really interesting. And then tell them what else you had happen to you.
So then, let me see. So then the next night, or either the next night or the night after that, getting ready to go to bed, and I thought, I'm going to check the cameras. So I have this. So I checked our like lower level, and I thought that really looks like a little Sasquatch. I mean, oh my gosh, really looks like it. So I thought, wait, is this pareidoia? You know, I'm gonna have to test this. And I think what I'm gonna do, because it was like, oh my gosh, it was like 10 after 11. So you know, it's pretty early. And where they're sitting, they're just like right outside of our house, probably looking in the windows. So I thought I'm gonna turn on the light and go out on the deck and see what I can see. So I have
she goes outside. I mean, is that not crazy, ladies and gentlemen? I mean, you hear her open up the sliding door like,
yeah, I sound like an elephant.
and you hear
clunk, clunk, clunk.
And I'm like, now that, ladies and gentlemen, is some. Never mind. Never mind.
Well, and I'm like, I'm so loud, but like as if they would know, but I didn't really want to be quiet because I didn't want to like scare anything. And then it have like, I don't even know, like a big mama Bigfoot come out and, rip my head off. But, I'm up on the
still, ladies and gentlemen. That's the only thing I was going to say. I promise.
I'm up on the top deck and so I can look down on all of this. So I couldn't see anything. Now the camera shows that there's like some ferns moving where I think that any of them that weren't able to be cloaked had went in, crawled into the ferns quick because you could just see this little area of movement in the ferns. But, so I don't see anything. I go back inside, turn off the light, watch the video, and you can clearly see, do you guys agree with me, that there is an area like of all of pixelation that starts when this is exactly the time when I peek over down into there. It's like something put this cloak or whatever over it. I mean, it was really, really bizarre. And I mean, it was so obvious. So, yeah, I don't, and then as I kept watching, you can see, the little like eye shine, like not constant, but little pops of it, little like pops of eye shine. So, yeah, so that was pretty cool too.
That is neat. Yeah, you got some cojones, that's for sure.
Well,
walking out there.
Is this the one? Okay. Oh, all righty.
All right, here we go.
And here it is. So the little Sasquatch that I can see is, if you see that pillar, it's just to the left of that. And it's like it's kind of crawling up the bank a little bit higher, like right there. Go left, more left. And then right above that is, if you can see that little dark spot. Yeah. And then there's also, I feel like I see one now. Yeah, that's like above. And now I can see better on here. It feels like there's like two that I can see. They're small though. They're not. The video is long. So just enjoy the little.
What's this little black thing?
That's a light.
Yeah, that's a solar light.
A solar light. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which it's weird that it's not on, but I don't know.
Probably doesn't get as much sun as the other ones.
Yeah. Yep. You can just I feel like I just saw a little bit of eye shine. Did you see that little flash? I mean, it's really, really faint. But I almost think it's like they're peeking at the camera, They don't want me to obviously see them, so they're peeking because I think they're young. They're small.
That's the right time of the year too for them.
Yeah. So the light should come on any minute now.
Yeah, it's great. Come on.
Yeah. Okay. Now you can see.
That's a motion light?
Yeah. No, that's just like floodlights.
That's just you turning it on?
Mm-hmm. That's me turning it on. Yeah. And so if you see, there's like, again, where that pillar was. And when I said where just go a little bit more to the left with your, and like a little bit more, not like down, go down. All right. A little to the left right there. And then up a little bit more. Now to the left. And just watch that area, because the ferns, you can see them moving a little bit. Oh, we must not have the...
I see him moving a little bit.
Yeah, must not have the audio on, which is fine with me, because you didn't hear me come out yet, right?
No, you haven't came out yet. Here you come.
Oh, yeah. There's a door.
Man, it's hot in here.
Poor thing, God. Hi, Thomas.
That sweat coming down my forehead.
Oh, I did see it move. Yes.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I sure did. See it moving?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's just right in that spot, too. And now, did it pixelate? I feel like it did. Like it starts to see how it's like shimmery, like or whatever, right? It's like just really in that whole area. Just so weird. I know where I wouldn't sleep and definitely sell my house.
Well, that area moved, but nothing else moved over there.
It's
all that's moving.
Just in that little area. Yeah, standing stone saw it. It was pure black. Yeah, it looked black, completely black to me. Yep. Sorry, excuse me. Now that's, yep, I'm going back inside.
What time was this?
This is only like 11, like 10 after 11, 11:15. Yeah, it wasn't very late at all. That's why I was surprised.
Huh.
Probably coming up to peep in your windows.
Probably.
So
yeah. So just if you like, I don't know, it's probably going to be hard to tell on here because of but you'll see little teeny flashes of light start to pop, but
that's it.
Yeah. So, all right. So that freaked you guys out. So my last thing was, and this happened last night, I was, let me see, checking the camera. I'm trying to think. I was in bed checking the camera and I thought, oh my gosh, that looks like a little Bigfoot sitting up on the deck in this,
what?
Like, a trough that like an animal water trough that you plant things in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Those like, well, we have one of those up on our deck. And I think I sent you the pictures, and it's literally right outside of
I
our
must have, hold
family
on.
room.
I must have missed
Okay.
this one.
Okay. Yeah, this is the last thing that I sent you because I didn't explain this to you guys because I was like, should I? And yet, what the heck? Because I found little prints, so I'm like, okay, well, there's there was something sitting in there. It wasn't it couldn't have been well, two things. The first time I saw it, I think it was like 12:26 a.m. and every few hours I'd wake up and check and it was still there. And you could see eye shine, you could see movement. And if it was like an animal, a regular animal that was coming up the steps or even climbing up, you would have seen it because of the cameras that are there. You would have definitely seen it, but nothing. So
now, is this one with the red circles?
No, I don't think there's any red circles. This would have been the last thing I sent you today, Chris. I don't think I have any red circles. Wait a minute. And I think I sent it to our group, maybe.
Yeah, it's not in the group.
Oh no, you know what? It's just to you. I'm sorry, it's just to you.
I was gonna say I remember seeing it.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. All right, let me spool it up here, hit pause, back it, and here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Wait, I can't see the video. Can you see the video, Chris?
I haven't clicked on it yet.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I'm sorry.
You're fine. I'm going to click off this comment here.
Cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go. Now let me click back on the... where did the video go? Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. I clicked off of it. There we go. Here we go. Let me blow it up. Wait a minute. That's the wrong video. That's the same video we just watched, wasn't it?
No. This is the top deck. Is it 58 seconds? Yeah, if that's right. If it's
No, this is the old one.
Or 54.
Yeah, hold on.
Was that with a bunch with a couple pictures? I sent it to you this afternoon.
No, I didn't close out the other one. Hold on. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm on the wrong. I got the right video up. I just don't know what screen I put it on. Let's see here. Bring back up. I don't know why it keeps logging me out of Facebook. So we're going to cheat here. There you are there. There we
And
are.
Barb,
here.
don't forget I sent you those cleaned up audios that we talked about.
Oh.
Remember you tried to play? So we can play those too.
Okay. Oh yeah, that one was crazy. That with the, oh my gosh.
Yeah, we had what was it? A dog, duck to a dog or something like that.
Oh yeah. But the one that creeped me out was the one with the, that we think was, I think was all a Bigfoot, but it was like almost like it was making like a like it was talking.
Yeah, that one's pretty cool.
So, oh, you know what? So see, we're Grizzly on the Hunt. The little thing is sitting right below there. So watch that little blobby thing over there, top right. You can see eye shine briefly. You can see like its arm move.
Is this up on the deck that we're looking or out past the railing?
This is up on, so we have like a like an upper deck, and then we have an up above that deck is this is we call it the side, like a side. Yeah, you go up like a couple of steps, and right in front of us is like to the bottom left on that deck that's where I was looking down over to that other area, which is where I think they sit. So now this little one, I don't know how it was placed there, but
all right, where am I looking at?
See, You just have to, I don't, it might be hard to see, but the top right is where, do you see a little round thing? It looks like a little, just like imagine like a baby sitting there, like a child sitting there.
On the rail?
No, it's below the rail. Okay, see the steps that go up to that deck?
Right. Right here?
And then, wait, where's your, I can't see your thingy.
Right here?
Wait, I can't
Yeah,
see.
I don't see your mouse.
No,
yeah,
I don't see
your mouse isn't showing.
All right, hold on. Let me make my screen smaller so I can see my mouse.
Rebecca, and yeah, she's asking what made me realize, just because like I was having weird sound, audio and video that we were capturing on our home security cameras, so I started manually watching them overnight. So, and that's when I found a lot.
All right,
of stuff.
so I see the steps coming up.
Okay,
I'm walking up. So where do I go if I'm walking up?
And then the handrail to those steps, and you just go like the end of the handrail and straight up. There's like a little there's like a little circle there, like
a metal bucket, right?
Yeah,
or
yeah,
metal
yep.
planter.
But sitting up in the metal bucket is there's like a little circle. It looks like a doll or a baby. Do you see that?
Mm-hmm.
You talking in the corner?
Yeah, of this it is. Yes, yeah.
So if I'm walking up the steps, I turn left, and it's all the way in the corner.
Yeah, but yeah. And it's, I mean, right. it's gonna be, it's gonna be right there. Yeah, but it's sitting in that metal trough. And I'm like, I know nothing's there. Yeah, and it's in that. So yeah, it's up in it.
This is like alien eyes.
Go up a little bit. That's the thing right there. That's it. And then there's a little round thing like a head. Yep. And
looks like alien eyes to me.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It is looking around.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get butt cheeks?
Well, I'll show you the prints. I got prints.
Where's the prints at?
They are right there where it was.
Inside the planter?
Yep. Right there. Which that was like, oh my gosh. Because because I saw it all night every time I checked it, probably about 4 times it was there. I thought this is just some type of this is an illusion, that I don't know. This can't be a thing. It can't be a real thing that's sitting there all night long. But I come out this morning and there are the prints. And I sent you the pictures of the prints.
Oh, you sent those things?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
All right. I'm going to ring on my Facebook again. Hold on.
Yeah, Rebecca, I have just the Arlo ones and they're infrared. And I think that's how, they see the cameras. I know that they know when I have them on because sometimes they'll throw things. A lot of times they'll throw things at the camera. Not like anything to knock, they could take the camera right off of its mount if they want to, but I think they'll throw little like pine cones or little teeny like gravel or whatever. Yeah. So now, that I don't know, like with that, I don't really know what to think, and I have to. I'm wondering if my daughter's fiance, he may have even still been awake, like watching TV right there. I'll have to see how late he was up watching TV.
That's probably what he was doing, watching.
Oh yeah, but how did he get there? I mean, so this is inside the house, and that's the trough, and right in the middle where that plant is.
He was
is
watching.
Where, yeah, because just beyond that is our couch and our television, and is to the left.
Here's
the
trough.
Side view in the daytime. Yes, that's the trough. So you see that there's nothing there though. But like with that plant, I thought, oh, maybe that's what's making. But there's the little prints. See, there's 4. Like two distinct ones in the front, like the and then the back ones have a little bit of a depression.
Toes
and it was
in the hands.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Like their fists.
Yep. Yeah.
That is a fresh one. That is not that very old at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
That's what I'm like. Holy crap. How did that get there? I mean, it's so tiny.
well, unless it was a gargoyle, but
Yeah. Great. What do I want? Yeah. And then there's like, look how little.
The baby gray.
Oh, no.
No, see the toes?
Yeah.
So it was facing. What's this direction again?
That is out to the woods. And then because we have that, like you can grow beans on it or whatever, a bean pole there. And it was just sitting in front of that. And I think like at times it had turned its head and looked at the camera,
It did.
Yeah.
Because right there it is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's wild.
Yeah. And I'm like, how did that thing get up there? I mean, if it could crawl up, that's possible. If the parent crawled up, it would have to be outside of the camera range though, because you would definitely see if something was coming up the steps, or unless they were cloaked, that's I guess possible. But yeah, so it was like that green plant in the middle of the trough, it was right behind, like right under that, kind of right behind that. I don't know, Crazy.
What's interesting is I don't see any dirt on the deck.
No, and that's why, so that can't be an animal, right? Because the animal wouldn't leave those cute little, like just the perfect little prints. It would
it looked like the left foot was planted, the right foot was cocked, and it was leaning with the paws, the hands folded, like in like.
Yeah, like little fists, like right. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. Yep.
Pretty crazy.
What's weird is that you don't see any dirt around there. That's what I'm saying. Like it got out and walked around or anything.
Mm-hmm. No. Yeah, I know. Very weird. I don't know. I think Crazy Witch, I think it's too big for a fairy, but then Standing Stone, I think it's too big for
an that was a fairy, that is a fat fairy, and that probably couldn't even fly.
I think maybe a gnome, but I don't know. Because I feel like its head was too round from what we could see. And then
it definitely wasn't a raccoon or anything, because it would have made a mess. It would have dug it up and made a mess.
Yeah. And raccoon prints are very distinctive though.
Yeah. When they come up on the deck, because we will get the camera, we'll get them on the camera, and they're very they kind of check everything out, so you get clear pictures and videos of them. So that's Rebecca. That's what, maybe Mama brought it over and set it in the plant for the night out at the movies. That's cute.
All right, Grizzly, I sent the audios again to you on Messenger if you want to pull those up. Barb.
All right. Let me catch up on these couple little comments here real quick. A fairy.
Now, if Mom or Dad I have to measure how far up that is from the ground, because it is. I mean, it's a full. What's a full flight of stairs? How tall would that be?
Well,
I mean,
it depends. It could be 12 or 17. I guess. Yeah. So
I'll have to measure, because I feel like.
But if you look, and here's my thing. Let me bring it back up. So, and this is just me thinking out loud.
Yeah, that's.
So
I have no idea.
If you look on a deck, because I had a deck as well when I had my house where I moved states. It's real easy for anything ape-like to climb that pole.
Yes, definitely.
Walk across and climb on the screen and come down. And use the screen to come down, because if you remember, that screen had mesh on it. Where is it?
Yeah, and actually behind. Yep, and behind the behind.
There we go, right there.
See how there's another pillar. There's 3 pillars that go all the way down to the ground. So, and if they came out of that one or really the middle one, you wouldn't see them on camera. It's not within the vision of for motion to trigger it. So, that white stuff was diatomaceous earth that because I had some kind of like those like little bugs that was in there. So we're just doing a bunch of work and changing. So I don't have anything except herbs planted in there. And I was concerned that I was like, I hope that would hurt the baby. But somebody today said no. That
you can actually eat it. It's edible. They even have a food grade version of it that you can ingest if you wanted to. It's not harmful unless you actually inhale it, and that's when it's bad.
I just hope. Yeah, I mean, I hope. But then I'm thinking, I don't think that it would sit it in that stuff. If the parent would sit it in there, and it surely wouldn't be sitting there all night long. Thank you, Standing Stones. Yeah, we worked our butts off like building that deck last year, and we have now to do the bottom one.
Beautiful backyard for sure.
Yeah. So thanks. But yeah, it's So yeah, I don't know, guys.
Where's the audio at, Chris?
It was in our breaking news Bigfoot little chat.
Okay. All right, stand by. Oh, I see it.
I was telling people today I felt like I had like a paranormal or a cryptid hangover or something. Like
I think something. You got something going on.
Well, that's your entertainment. You're staying up all night watching video.
Yeah.
We know what's going on now. She's sending texts at 3:00 in the morning.
Like,
for me, it's like 5 or 6. I'm like, what are you still doing up?
All right, here.
These are the audio that I had sent, and Chris, had enhanced them for me. So that's awesome. Thank you.
One's 9 seconds, the other one's 41. So I filtered out the background noise and then amplified so you can hear them. Before we had a hard time hearing them.
Yeah.
So.
This is the one. Oh, that's the one with the duck and the dog.
Yeah, it's like the hell with it.
Yeah. But that first one just creeps me out. Doesn't that sound like language?
Almost sounds like it says the word 3 at one point in time, and as it goes further, it gets louder and a little more. I don't know.
I'll be damned. It does sound like it's talking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like it's giving instructions.
And
really
I
weird.
did not Standing Stone.
I turned my audio up on my headphones. Yeah. You did a real good job cleaning that up, Chris.
Yeah, he did. Because I mean, it was creepy when I heard it. It was like, wow. I don't know what else this could be, but you could not hear that clarity. So thank you so much. It's just incredible.
Yeah. It has a little bit of a crystally sound. That's actually part of the filter, reducing the background noise. It will kind of leave a little bit of that in it, but it still left us nothing but the rest of that sound. So it was really good. Came out well.
But you're right. It sounded like it was like, like something was telling something to do something or do what. I mean, like a conversation.
Yeah.
A one-way conversation, not a two-way.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Might be mama talking to some babies.
I don't know. Yeah. I've heard that particular thing. I've heard it about 3 times. That was the one that I caught. I Hi, Scott. That was the one that it was a gruntle that I caught. That was the longest, or sometimes I've caught it, but there's been super like loud water noise over or something else, and you really just can't. But it's distinct. It's pretty distinctive. So, yeah.
Very cool. Well, if you get any more, I can clean them up.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Thank you.
All I have to do is take the section of where it's not making a noise, and I use that as a sample to filter out the rest of that background noise.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to, while you're all talking, I'm going to pull up something here just as a reference.
I'm going to have to, while you're doing, I'm going to have to do find the one where I said it has like a big snort. Like it almost sounds like the thing has a sinus infection or, I don't know, something like that. Like it has. And at first when I heard it, I've heard that a couple times. When I first heard it, I thought, oh, does that have like something stuck in its nose? But then I've heard it twice since then. And it just has that like it sounds like a huge like pig, but we don't have hogs, like wild hogs here. So I'm in Washington State, so we don't have.
It must be Bigfoot hawking a loogie.
Yeah, I don't know. And it is, I have to find the one and send that to you. Especially when we caught it on the driveway, on our carport, like driveway cam, because you can hear it like echoing through the dark, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah, send me that one. I'd like to hear it.
Yeah, I will.
All right, I'm pulling up. Let's see here. There we go. Typed in the wrong thing, and it's like really doing sign language because they are that intelligent. So,
yeah.
All right, now I'm gonna play this, and this is where I wish I had Chris's technology to where I can slow it down because this one's excited. And you understand why I say slow it down. And here we go. Let me get rid of that comment so we can see this is where I was talking to Chris before about what's going on with my computer, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I can't get rid of. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it is. That's weird. All right, share screen, and this is where I want to see we call it the seismograph. I call it a seismograph, but it's not.
Spectrograph? Is it spectrograph?
Spectrogram.
Right. Yeah.
All right, so here we go. Now listen to this.
Yeah.
Now this is one that's excited.
Not hearing anything.
Can't hear it. Yeah.
Oh, sheesh. I didn't share audio. Stand by. I do it every time. I don't know why they just don't automatically do that.
You would think.
That's something I'm going to have to complain about to them again. No, they know me by name. Yeah, they're like, oh, my God, here we go. All right, let's try this again. Now, when you hear this, now you're all going to be like, what? All right, here we go. Okay. Now, if I can hit play without jumping it. Let's see here. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
That sounds like Sierra sounds almost.
Now, this is an excited one. Now, this is what happens.
Yes. Okay.
Man, there's some similarities there, right?
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. When I heard that, it was just real calm. Just
yes. Right.
So there's one more. Let's see here. Let me back it up.
Standing Stone says it sounds like him in the morning.
Now this is. I was afraid somebody was going to say something like that.
Oh, good night, crazy witch. Thanks for tuning
This
in.
is a baby. Now that's a baby one.
Wow. Yeah.
But you see the similarities compared to what you've recorded?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Good night, Crazy
And-
Witch.
Yeah. I'll tell you,
So
I think I told you guys I lost like about 10 great pieces of audio right around Christmas time because I didn't save them right. I had them in my like right in the queue for the like there's like a queue for the camera because that's the best place and the easiest place to share them and to listen to them from. And I didn't get a chance to save them. And we had a power outage and it crashed the what is it called? The base station of it, lost them all. I was because there were so many that like gorilla sound like I mean, it was like talking over, each other. It was that would have been Anyway, so that was December. So I'll be really looking out, this December to see if I can get anything like that again.
So one of the things I recommend, and I bought one, and I wanted to show you. Here, let me blow myself up a little bit. That did not sound good, ladies and gentlemen. I do apologize, but you know what? What the hell? So what I did is this is something I bought, and it's got a very long cord, and this is for my audio recorder or digital recorders. And what this is, it's one of those ones for a long conference table for your meetings, so you don't have to slide your recorder all the way in the middle and try to hopefully get everybody.
Yeah.
So I use this on the dolls on my paranormal shows to get them to talk or make noises and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's not that much. It's only like $48, and it's got a really long cord. So I don't want to hit that button. Well, I'm almost ended the show. And in broadcast. And I bought it because it's got a very, very long cord where I can take this and stretch it all the way across my studio. And I tape the recorder to the side of the door frame, and I can record it and leave this up on top of my studio by the dolls. And the first day I used it, I came back and I let it roll for 2 hours. And I was like, oh my God, they're talking. I'm like, no way. And I turn up all my audio, and I'm like, they're mumbling. I'm like, I got this on audio. Man, I'm gone for like 15 minutes. My heart's pumping. I'm like, what are they talking about? And I'm like, they're whispering. Ladies and gentlemen, that damn thing's so powerful. It was me on the other side of the house watching damn TV. I was so embarrassed. Yeah. That's how good that mic is. So
wow.
I mean, I really thought I had something, ladies.
I hate when that happens because that's happened. I'm sure that's happened to you too, Chris. It's like, what's that? It's like,
yeah, my buddy was like, well, at least you debunked it, and I'm like,
wow,
I got excited because I was like, man, they're really talking to each other. I knew they talked, but because you can hear it very faintly. I was like, what the hell? And you're like, what are they saying?
So scary. That would
it
be
was scary.
You just gave them something else to throw at you is what you did.
Yeah.
I taped it. Thank you. I taped it. Yes.
That don't matter.
So yes, Grizzly. Yes, Catherine. I know. But anyways, what I was saying is that Barb can take one of those and hide that anywhere out there on the deck and run that cord through a window and they will never know, because some reason they know when a recorder is present. I don't understand how. Barb Shoop says it.
Yes.
Everybody I talk to says it.
Yeah.
Everybody. But this thing does not emit any electronic things at all. I took my EMF detector over it. Only thing it does is picks up an audio signal and sends it to the recorder. That's it. There's no electricity running through it.
Wow.
So I took my EMF.
It's a one-way travel.
Yeah, I'll have
Yes.
to get one because I I
So,
got a recorder,
and
but I
after hearing what
get it.
you got, and I was
Yeah.
like, and because, ladies and gentlemen, I actually, believe it or not, do research on the side and listen to animal sounds and so forth, because you would not believe what people send, and they don't know what it is, and sometimes I don't know either, and I don't want to look like a moron, like I don't know. But sometimes Grizzly don't know, so I like to go out there and diddle daddle at 3 or 4 or 5 in the morning, as some people know I'm up,
Yep.
and do my own research or work on shows.
We both are. Yeah, I
Right?
know. Yeah.
Because that way, when somebody has something like Barb does, I can be like, oh, you ain't gonna believe this. Listen to this.
Yeah.
And if that silverback gorilla did not get excited at all and just maintain that same pitch, that would have been exactly what you got in your yard. It was just like it was talking.
Send me that link, and I can actually slow that down a little bit for you.
Yeah, I will. So that's I mean, like I said, it's just and elemental. So I sent Barb, and I don't know, it may be too long to put up there on the display or the chat room, but elementals, Google elementals, what it is, ladies and gentlemen, and it will give you a good descriptions of what it is. It talks about earth, wind, fire, water, and supernatural beings and so forth. And I was explaining this to Barb because Greg Yost is a good example. Now, I look at a lot of photographs. I used to. I don't anymore unless you ask me to, because we talked about this on the last show with the aliens that crashed and the police were involved, and all these videos are popping up and all that stuff's man-made. Okay, it's AI. Because if that footage actually existed, the government would have confiscated it and never been broadcasted, been taken right down. I know that for a fact. It just happened. But now we're getting all these fake videos out there, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, look at that! Look at that!"
This is the one. This is the one.
And
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, that's
And
not the Vegas one.
No. And when Chris, you have a chance, send Barb that AI thing that I sent you. You need to watch this, Barb, off the air. This will freak you out.
It'll creep you out for sure. Actually, my sister just
So,
said, "Well, that ruined my day." I sent it to her. It's pretty. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I'm
No,
sorry. No, go ahead.
it's something that'll definitely kind of open your eyes to what the AI is
And,
presenting to our
and
world. You know
everybody
what I mean?
thought I was nuts all these years. And I'm like, no, ladies and gentlemen. And it's weird. I don't know. Like Chris. Chris can tell you, I can contact Chris and be like, "What's up, dude?" And he'll be like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Cut it out. What's going on?" And I know you hate when I do that sometimes. Look at him.
Drives me crazy.
It does, and I just, some people I can just do that to. And it's just, why the hell am I even talking about this? Was there a point?
Was it like to make it like a psychic connection almost?
So people thought I was crazy about Jurassic Park, about Terminator, about AI, about all. And I told people, and we discussed this on another show and shows, that the ones we're playing with now, it's so far advanced right now, ladies and gentlemen. It's far surpassed what we even know that exists, right? So, and we'll just leave it at that. And if you want, Chris, you can throw the link out there for everybody to look at it if they want to. If you got
I think it might be too long, but I'm trying to see if I can find a shorter version.
So that's like with like deep fake, with like the deep fakes AIs. You can't trust anything now that you see.
Well,
if it's
the movie that I said, was it what was that name of that girl? That movie that I kept telling everybody to watch. It was the artificial girl.
Oh,
I can't remember the name of the movie. I'm gonna have to Google it again. I hate when I do that.
I can't.
But I told everybody, somebody told me to watch it, and I'm like, yeah, all right, whatever. And I love movies, but I never have time to really watch TV because I'm always that busy, right? And so I made it a point to watch this movie. And ladies and gentlemen, I know this is off topic, but Chris is going to share this link with you.
It's already out there.
I did not. I did not touch my phone, answer my phone, or anything from beginning to end of this movie. And I went on a national show, and I'm like, ladies and gentlemen, you need to watch this show. They're like, what? I'm like, no, you need to watch this show, and next week we'll talk about it. And when I came back on that show next week, they were like, oh my God. I'm like, we're already past that. They're like, no way. I'm like, yeah, way. And let's see, movie with.
Was it what Stingray said?
What did he say? Because I can't see.
Artifice.
Yes, that's it. That's
Okay.
it. That's
Yep.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Stingray was, I think, was actually part of one of the shows that we were talking about it on. And let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, that movie will keep your full undivided attention. I know it's kind of off topic, but I just want to throw it out there is because with this kind of technology and the stuff that people's presenting, it's so hard to determine whether it's legit or not. And this goes back to Barb Shoot's video. If it wasn't Barb Shoot video with that cloaking thing, whatever it may be, which we know it's allegedly Bigfoot because it had tracks and they slowed it down and they got the hands, and I would not believe it, you know.
Right.
And I've got people on other shows that are full Cherokee blood Indians, and they are telling me on other shows, Grizzly, you better not go out in the woods alone. And I'm like, thank you. And everybody makes fun of me.
No,
So, you know, and it's like, and then they tell, and I don't know, was you, Chris, watching the one where they taught OCO about the language and how they answer back?
Yeah, I think
Barb, you did too, right?
Yeah, we both saw that.
What happens if you don't listen to the rules of the clan? They bar you, and you get kicked out, and you get excommunicated. And that's the rogue ones that will rip your face off and suck your blood. And I'm like, what? And that's the ones, my luck, I run into, be like, there's that white man. I'm killing that some gun, you know? I mean, we laugh about it, but
but it's not fun. It's very scary,
There's a
right?
possibility, right?
So, and let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. This is my luck. Now, when Blu-ray players were a thing back in the day, I can go to the local electronics store and pick one model, and there'll be 60 of them on a shelf. And I would move 5 or 10 of them out of the way and grab one off that shelf, take it home, and it would not work. That has always been my luck. Every time I buy, that's why I always buy the warranties on stuff. And everybody, you don't need that warranty. And Amazon hates me because I buy it, and guess what? I got a warranty. I get a new one. Because I'm a big Amazon person. But, you know, and then when it comes to stuff like that and hearing people that are full Cherokee, full whatever, or 90%, and they're trying to be nice and telling you, no, it's really not good to go out there alone. And, you know, I used to go hunting alone, deer hunting. I used to go morel mushroom hunting alone. I would go strows in the woods alone and look for things, you know? And it's like, you know, what, you know? And it's like, and after you see that, and now we know what the structures mean and everything, and everybody had it all wrong. And now people are like, I'm taking those X's off my barns. Well, now just put one up in the middle of the X. That means do not enter, you know? So, and what we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen, is those X formations. And maybe I should bring up some pictures because I'm a picture guy. But when you see those X's, people always said that it was do not enter. Well, no, allegedly by the Cherokee tribes and the other indigenous nations, or whatever you want to call them, clans or different ethnic or people, tribes, they say no, that means welcome. That's telling the other clans that it's okay to come onto the property. The ones you have to be worried about is the ones that look like a cross. And I'm like, oh, have I seen those before? And boy, Chris, how many times you and what's his name have come across those and somebody got zapped? You see,
well, we've also gotten the problems with just the regular X's as well. So I don't know if I'd necessarily, I'm not going to say what he's saying is wrong, but I would think that just like anything, from region to region, from
Right.
even
It's
as some of them
not
call
it's not
Sasquatches
for
tribes
white man.
themselves.
It's
Right.
not for
So
white man. It's for other Sasquatches.
Yeah, but
right.
That
but
was
it
the
might
I
key.
mean, even then, from region to region, it might vary a
it
little
might
bit.
be
You
different
know,
region to region. Because
I mean,
tribes have
you go down
Yeah,
in Everglades,
but
you're not going to find
if I
anything like
give
that.
you the number one sign, all right. If I give you the number one sign,
That's
we all know what that
universal.
means, right?
Yeah.
So we hear a shotgun racking, we know what that
Yeah.
means. You better run like hell. So
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying, Chris. You know, and
Yeah.
did you just hear that?
You don't know. You know.
Did you hear that little girl? Did I hear things?
Probably.
Did I just hear a little girl?
Must be a doll.
Maybe because
Now,
there's no little girl.
did anybody else hear that, or did anyway? If y'all heard that, just say you heard it. If not, it's no big deal. I guess I'm just hearing things because my mic's very sensitive. But anyways, but no, and I understand where you're coming from. I kind of freaked me out a little bit.
Yeah.
No, it really did.
I love it.
Chris, do you
No,
have any
you
little?
don't
You don't
love
have
it.
any little girls. I don't have any little
No,
girls.
I
here.
have
I've
two,
got
mine
one,
are
but she's not
grown.
home right now.
Okay. So it wouldn't be your little
So
girls.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I've had little girl Sasquatch.
It's too hot at my house for her to be here.
Oh yeah.
She spent the night
yeah.
at
So,
grandma's.
ladies and gentlemen, he was telling me how hot he was earlier, and I thought he was talking about who.
Don't drive this in the ditch, would you?
Yeah. So, and I was like, well, that's great. I'm glad he thinks he's that beautiful and nice looking, And I didn't realize his hair was out. I'm sorry.
That's
But
how long
yeah,
is that
that's
going to
awful.
be? Oh.
They're coming tomorrow morning.
Oh, good. Oh, that's
Hopefully they'll fix it. Hopefully it's an easy fix. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, right. But
how
you're
hot
right,
is it there, Chris? What's the temperature?
It was 89 outside today, and it was about 86 in my house a little while ago. So. Yeah, humid.
No.
That's the problem. It's not the heat; it's the humidity. It's not fun for them.
Yeah.
No.
Anyway, I've got some pictures to show. I don't know if you.
Pop them up. Yeah, you know how to present them.
Ninja Dave said, "I just want to." Sounds like there's a whole family of Bigfoot. I don't know if you know Robin Haynes McCrae, but she told me she was able to remote view at one point, and she said I have two clans, 17. So the two clans, the 17 members in the one clan, and they're the ones close to me and living on my property. 26 also, another 26 are not far away. She said they're both led by two females, that they're very powerful, and they're over 100 years old to 200 years old.
Wow.
They're very protective over their clans. A few of the young ones that are only 2 and 3 years old. And that was that was in the spring. So there could have been some babies born since then. But anyway, I just wanted to.
No, that's interesting. Now, gosh,
now I just got a couple. I got a couple scenic shots here to start with, and I got some interesting things I found. Yeah. This was just going out last weekend. Let's see, jump to the next one.
But the Cherokee guy that we had on the show, while he's pulling that up, ladies and gentlemen, and that
was
other
another
girl was
another pretty shot.
credible, Barb, that we talked to.
Janice Cart. Oh wait, you mean this weekend?
Yeah.
Or you and Val?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I see what it's doing. It's not. It's opening up on my screen, but not opening here. Hold on.
But she said they can live up to 150 years old.
Yes.
Let's see if I can change this.
Yep.
So that was very interesting.
I was so excited to be able to hear her. I mean, wow.
And that was awful. I mean, she had storms. There we go, Chris. Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, I don't know any other way to do it. Maybe a bit smaller. Trying to make it as big as I can. So that was just a little scenic shot out in the swamps. Dang it. I keep opening up.
Wow.
All right. So here was something I thought was interesting. I had two pictures and one of them didn't come through, but I found two trees stacked right on top of each other. I mean, how often in the woods do you see a tree fall directly on top of another tree?
Right.
And the other thing that I found interesting was the newer tree is on the bottom and an older tree is on top.
Yeah. Now,
just thought it was a weird thing.
Right. That is weird. That's not something that, you see every day, right? Oh, wow. Look at that.
Oh, This was really cool. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, you can see my mouse, I think.
Yeah, we can.
It's showing up. All right. So there's a bent tree back here. It was cracked, right, in the background. Um, there's a couple different sticks here, and it's a weird configuration. It really caught my eye because nothing like this is just going to fall in the natural. And I'm deep out in the woods, right? So this is stick coming up here, and it's sitting on that bent tree in the back, right?
Wow.
Actually, kind of sitting on two sticks there. And then this stick comes up and goes between the Y of that one, and then goes up underneath, but doesn't touch that back broken tree at all.
Wow.
And then there's another branch that's sitting on that, but underneath this one. So the whole configuration is like you are not going to find, especially these three, just fall like this. And this one's almost a floating tree.
I see. Yeah, once again, you got that X formation.
Yep. And then it's got a small little weird gathering of stuff. And then my next picture will show to the right of that is another collection of just weird collection of branches. So here's that.
Like they're gonna do some maybe.
It was just really weird. I mean, you can make excuses and figure out why things can fall naturally, but this conglomeration, you can see how that one goes in between those two.
Yes.
That one's a Y. I mean, how does it fall like that and then go underneath this one?
Right.
And then this one's on top of that one.
No,
none of it makes sense.
No.
Now, did you have a line of sight, a good distance from that area? You can see for a good distance standing there.
I did not get that one. I don't think I took a picture from far away of those two. It just got the left side and then to the right.
Because the reason why I asked that is that I'm not saying it is, but sometimes from what I heard from people that have Indian blood or Indian heritage is that sometimes these could be locations of the watchers, the day watchers, where they're bored and they're entertaining themselves. So I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. So I get a little story of me and Mike went out. This was back when I first started going kind of Bigfooting, and we went into one of his areas. And we walked in the area, and he's like, "Man, doing some redecorating." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "These weren't there." So I put my foot on here to take a picture of this branch. Right, this is a branch. You can see it's broken off, not cut, and it's about 8 inches around. There was 3 of them, and I've got more pictures here to show you the size of it. It's big enough to be its own tree. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so this is a maple, and you can see kind of here. I have another picture. You can see the actual leaves are turning purple, and it was still kind of fresh when we found them. And there were 2 on one side and 1 on the other, and they're all within distance where everything is touching. And it basically made a blind.
Whoa.
And then here it is. So here's the 2 on the left side, and then that one that I was standing on is right there. These things are big. I mean, like I said, my foot was on that. You can see how long they are. They're probably 25, at least 25, 30 foot each branch.
Wow.
And these were just as big. Mike and I picked this one up, and we were not going to go dragging this through the woods. We could. We wouldn't make it very far.
Yeah.
So, and you can see here, this was a maple, right? We found the origination tree of this over 100 yards away.
Whoa.
Through the swamp. These were all laid here together. Who in their right mind?
Yeah.
I mean, if it was me, I'd be like, hold on, let me go get my chainsaw. I'll be right back.
Right. Why would you?
I mean,
what would be the motivation?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, they drug it. I mean, and there was a massive maple tree that took a fall from a storm or something, and these were broken off, and they were dragged all the way over here. And that was one of the things that you start seeing, and just you go, wow, okay, that's interesting. So here's the other. You can see more of the blind. This was when it was fresh, and I mean, it was really thick. Something can sleep in there or hide behind that, and nobody would have seen it. So thought that was a cool something to show. That's one of the ones that I've seen.
That's cool.
It just makes you go, what in the world could have done that? I mean, you have to have hands to carry something
Right.
like that.
Yep.
We don't have bears, not in this area at least. What else could do it? What?
And bears aren't going to do that anyway. You know, I mean, they're not going to drag it.
Yeah, I mean, there's no purpose. I
Why
mean,
would
there's
they do
no other thing I can give a reason or any kind of explanation other than it's Sasquatch.
Yeah.
And then
You know,
today,
Not even human. You'd have to have 6 guys to carry all 3 trees from where they were.
wow. Yeah.
Rebecca says, "What about a tornado?"
Tornado.
No,
No.
not so
No.
far away as what far away from that origination tree was, and how they were all 3 laid in the same spot. No,
Yeah.
it wasn't that. I guarantee it. Now I would see those probably laying in different directions, and yeah, sure they could be a little bit from the tree, but not over 100 yards. We're talking over a football field away. So it's pretty
Grizzly,
good
that
distance.
reminded me of the thing that your friend, I don't want to say his name because I don't know if it's, I mean, it was on Facebook Live, but do you know what I mean when he found that those nests?
Yes, right.
Isn't that what that looked like?
Yeah, it sure does.
So that was
sure
pretty cool.
does.
And that was
We find blinds like that on occasion.
Great find, Chris. Wow.
Yeah, it is. Ninja Dave, you need to think about coming on the show next week and talk about some of your encounters. We'd love to hear them.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So Robin is he was at her house. That's cool. Yeah, because she's the one that told me.
And by the way, I have a guest too that he said it'd be probably another 3 or 4 weeks, but it's Dr. Bill Hewitt, a friend of ours. He's like a honorary team member for Mid Florida Bigfoot, and he's actually a cryptozoologist.
Oh, nice.
And he's got some encounters and some really cool stories to tell. And this guy is like Mr. Gadget of Bigfoot. Like he's made these big giant audio receivers, audio blasters. We took a ride in his vehicle down in Everglades, and on top of his vehicle, he has night vision and thermals. So we turned off the lights in the vehicle, and we got iPads on the inside, and we can drive right down the road and see exactly where we're going.
Oh my god,
that's wicked.
Yeah, it was pretty badass. But the stuff that this guy makes, he's like an inventor, I mean, literally. But yeah, he's got some really cool stories. So excited to share those with you as soon as we get him on. He said he's got some projects he's working on, but he wants to do it in about 4 weeks or so.
Awesome.
But, yeah, I mean, ladies and gentlemen, we are here for you all. And if you all have encounters or stories, pictures that you all taken out in the woods and want us to share, send them to us. We don't mind, and letting you come on. Please. And I could have up to 10 people or 12 people on the show at once. It's, why not?
Party.
So, yes.
Yeah.
So, because it's interesting to see, Chris is from Florida. Barb, you're from what state?
Washington State.
And I don't know what I did with mine. I need to show you one of the photographs I took in that park where I thought I had pareidolia too, and I sent them off to some people. They're like, you got a juvenile. I didn't even know about juvenile. I had the adult one when I was playing
I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt. Hold on a second.
Go ahead.
Ninja Dave is saying he's William Henry. He's Janice Carter's research partner.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my gosh. That is so cool. Wow. Yeah. She's the one. Yeah. She's legit.
Cool.
Crazy.
Anyway, sorry.
Crazy.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I just wanted
to.
Yeah. So what were you saying? I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, I was playing disc golf and I didn't know the numbers meant something on the damn disc. And when I threw it, it went the wrong direction. And that's when I was like, I'm not losing that. So, and that's when I found my prints in the park in the woods next to the big lake. And I was like, it's not what it is. And I ignored it. And then I walked up the hill, which was a very awkward hill. And then I snapped a photograph. I was trying to get size comparisons, but I didn't know I caught a juvenile. I was more looking at the big one, the Bigfoot print. Okay. And everybody else was like, you got a juvenile. I'm like, what are you talking about, juvenile? And they had to point it out to me. So once again, like Barb says, you put it out there because you don't want to automatically assume things, ladies and gentlemen. It's hard not to because you get excited. I get excited. So I get excited looking at Chris's pictures.
Mm-hmm.
That did not sound good. But anyways, yeah. And so, did I tell you that I got an email from one of my audio people or audio, and then like damn near wrecked the car laughing so hard because they couldn't see because of the tears. Yeah, on the way to work in the ditch, and that's exactly where they put in the ditch.
Poor thing.
So,
need a disclaimer from now on.
Yeah, I told Chris, I'm like, we're going to have to put up something because that one show. I mean, you can talk about it, but anyways, yes.
No, but you're right. You know, you do because like one night, and this was just 2 weeks ago, I caught this creepy. I mean, you want to talk about like creepy screeching? I'm like, whoa. Oh my God. I sent it to my daughter's fiance. I said, listen to this. And I said, if you take the dog out tonight, be careful. And he's like, whoa. My husband listens to it the next morning. He said, it's raccoons fighting. I'm like, ugh. Really?
Yeah,
that's what it is. And then he's like, "No, believe me, it is." And I'm like, he knows what he's talking about. But yeah, I got so excited. Didn't even know that they could make those noises. So you do have to, you do really have to go through the process.
Yeah,
you know,
bobcats, foxes. There's all kinds of them that make noises, and sometimes you can discredit it. You got to think about those things for sure. I mean, it does happen. But
definitely. Yep.
Bobcats are scary when you hear them, but you hear them, they fight, so they're going back and forth, and it's creepy.
Or the lynx. They're even, whoa.
Yeah.
Sounds like
they're the same. It's almost the same thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Screaming at each other.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find somewhere you're all talking.
Okay. I had I've been trying to get some like reports for us. So I've been on a couple of I go out onto the Washington State, pages, and because people are starting to go out camping and and vacationing and stuff. And so I'll say, hey, do you mind if I, take your encounter a little bit more information and share it. And so I got a couple of neat ones. This guy, this is creepy. He was in the Sierra Mountains, and he had rented a cabin, I think he said, like California, Northern California, had rented a cabin with his wife and 2 or 3 little kids for 2 weeks because they had family in the area that they were going to that was going to be their, they were going to do a bunch of day trips. So really pretty things. Cabin sat up high. It had a like a deck that wrapped around the house. The second night that they were there, they heard this like screeching and screaming and yelling, and howling, like what in the world? Just like this inhuman, he said, kind of. So they're wondering, is there like is there, we'll look at this and I'll finish that.
Now I want y'all to hear this.
That's crazy, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now, if you never heard one of these things in the woods, that would get your attention very quickly.
That's creepy, right?
That one scream that we heard was similar to that, but a little bit longer, but it was only one. Mm-hmm. There's no... You would think there would be follow-ups or something like that, but just one. It was really weird.
Whoa. Wow.
I don't know why it's buffering. The reason why I played that and wanted to share that is that I wanted people to know that if you are out there, investigating, you need to learn what animals you have in your area and learn what sounds they make, because there's and I was hoping to have it on this, where a fox sounds like a baby. And I heard it down there in Breckenridge County in Kentucky, down at Rough River, and when I was younger, and it scared the living daylights out of me, because we would walk down to the bridge and cut across to the cove, or you can walk across the property down into the field that we owned across, and go down and cut across down to the creek that turns into the cove. It comes across and so forth. And when you're down there with a lantern and 4 fishing poles and a 6-pack of Bud, and you're out there at 1 o'clock in the morning going night fishing, and you hear a baby like that, and you're like, what in the hell? And I didn't go fishing that night. I turned right around, and I walked as fast as I could, and I took the short route through the briars. But people need to learn things, because, a lot of people don't realize what animals do when they get nervous, when they're fighting, mating, alarming each other, or the clan or the family, if there's danger coming, or it's just something to think about. That's all.
Yeah, it's really, if you are interested in in this field and interested in getting audio, and it's definitely something I think that people should make them get yourself familiarized, because you can then when you hear something, you can go through all those sounds in your head, like, okay, that's not that, and then save yourself some, I don't know.
And that you're in a general vicinity of something that you might need to know about,
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah. So, so back to, all right. So the couple, first night, so they hear this screaming. So they call the police. I think it was like an Airbnb, right? So they tried to call the owners, but couldn't get in touch with the owners. But so they called the police and asked if there were, they said, we hear this screaming and yelling, and the guy said, it's scaring my wife and my kids. I mean, is it anything to be concerned about? And they said, well, there's no campgrounds close, but we can send somebody out. And he said, well, I mean, I guess have somebody come out. So they weren't able to make it out until the next morning. And the
next morning.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, you don't know. I mean, remote.
Call, just another Bigfoot call. Oh, geez.
Yeah.
All right, we'll
right.
put it
Exactly. So, what the guy, the cop was like, no, there's nothing, nothing close. No, if you hear it again, give us a call, whatever, if you have any problems. But, it could be, he said too, wildlife, maybe that you're not. The guy said he had the guy said big shotgun that he had with him. So he's like, I'm not afraid if it's any wildlife. So, so the next night they hear the screams, but they're really close. And they're getting closer and closer. Then they start to hear things like, he said possibly up on the roof, but he wasn't sure, but like definitely like banging the garage doors, which was on the lowest beneath the deck. He could hear them like banging. And he's like, okay, he's thinking that it's, some like, meth heads or whatever you would call crackheads,
Yeah.
And
crackheads. Right.
Yeah. So his wife's like, oh my gosh, so calls the police, and they're like, well, we'll have some, we'll send somebody out, but it's going to be whatever, whatever, who knows how long. So he's like, I'm going outside. So he, has a shotgun, and he's looking around, and he could still, and he like, what do you do? Like cock it or whatever, cock the shotgun. And cause he could hear this, like something. And then he said it got really quiet. So he's looking around, looks over to this edge, like the edge of the deck. And there he sees from the neck up, like head Sasquatch, like standing there looking at him. And he said the deck was 18 feet off the ground. So this Sasquatch is like 20 feet tall. He said it looked like Patty, but very shaggy. And all he could see was from the shoulders, like up. He pointed the gun at it, just like out of reach. He didn't know what to do, because the thing was like kind of, he said maybe like snarling, but he wasn't sure. When he did that, then it let out this roar. And so he just ran into the house thinking, my shotgun is not big enough to do anything to this monster. And I don't know how many others there are with him. So they go in the door, like lock themselves in a bathroom or whatever until the morning. The police never ended up.
Now you know why the police didn't want to show up.
Yeah.
because they know what they're up against.
Yeah.
I know you would have just jumped in your car to run over there, would you, Grizz?
Hell yeah, I would have. Because man, you don't know what I've got in my car, ladies and gentlemen. Because hey, let me tell you something. All my officers always laugh. They're like, if we ever got in a gunfight, we know if we needed something, we're coming to your vehicle, and it's like, you're damn right. So
yeah,
but that's crazy.
Wow.
That's crazy. So was it going to climb the deck or something, or?
Oh, he doesn't. He said it was just standing there, like looking at him. Like it was that tall that it was just, he didn't know what it was going to do. It just was there looking at him. And then I think there was screams, but there wasn't like, they didn't try to break in or anything. Like they were definitely banging on the house and banging on the garage door, but they didn't try to break in. And then they left the next morning, and that was it. They're like, no way.
The last Airbnb visitors were leaving out peanut butter, and they were looking for their peanut butter.
Right,
yeah. I would love to see that book that everybody signs. It was a nice stay. The hell with this place.
And the owners were like, "Oh, we've never had any complaints. I don't know what that, no,
yeah, BS on that.
Sure.
Dave is laughing. Yeah, right.
Yeah. And then there was one close to me, maybe about 10 miles away. It was on a local page. And so because she said, does anybody know what would be able to drag a, big tractor tire where you plant them with flowers and whatnot?
Yeah.
You put dirt. What kind of an animal would drag, what did she say? About 100 feet across and left it in the middle of the driveway.
Not very many.
So I'm like, well, so what they had done is they had cleared an area, cut all these trees down next to their house and put this big tractor tire there. Yeah. And filled it with plants, real pretty, whatever, and then the next, so it was there in the morning. She and her husband went to work. When they came home, there it was in the middle of the driveway.
Trying to say something, aren't they?
Yes. I'm like, well, that sounds like a Zach. She was like, oh, that's crazy. I think it's a bear. Yeah, because why would a bear do that in the middle of the day?
She saw that movie, Bear on Cocaine. That's what it
is.
Yeah,
probably. Yeah. Yep.
Could be a strung out deer looking for deer crack.
I know, right?
Maybe the deer was gonna try to sell the the tractor wheel.
Go to the pawn shop.
Get a little fix.
That's and then crazy.
So the last one I have also about camping. This was in Mason County, Washington, which is about 40, maybe about half an hour, 45 minutes from me. This was in early May. Guy and his wife had just retired, and they have their little travel trailer, so they're going to go around to the campgrounds and and try to get in, hit as many as they can before it starts to get busy. So the first night they hear these howls and screams, and he said the same thing, like it sounded like it wasn't human, but it was. So they go into town the next morning, kind of to and because they're both pretty traumatized. His wife's like, we're leaving. I don't want to do this. I just want to go home. He's like, well, let's just find out. Maybe, let's just calm down, honey. Go to this little coffee shop, have breakfast. And they said, oh yeah, you don't want to go to that campground before June. You don't want to be.
That's nice to know.
Yeah. Yes.
Why do people tell you that after?
Yeah. So, and they said, oh, we wondered it was just really, any of the campgrounds in this area, you don't want to go until June. And I don't know, is it because of because there are so few people there. So they didn't go back to that one, but went to one, maybe half an hour, from where, but guess what? That night they have screams, slaps on the side of their travel trailer, and it was rocking the travel trailer. So that was it.
Trailer's rocking, coming knocking.
I'm done. Went home, slapped a for sale sign on the travel trailer.
All right. Now, I usually don't do this, ladies and gentlemen, but now this is what Grizzly will do if he hears something like this. And I'm going to play this. I can't believe I'm doing this.
Are we
I
going
feel
to
sorry for my audio people tomorrow. All right, here we go.
Oh, no.
What the fuck is that?
That's great. Yep.
I had to. The more and more I kept hearing that.
That's great.
You know. So, yes. So, I'm sorry.
yeah.
Shooting everywhere.
Yeah.
I told Val, if I ever am out in the woods and I start feeling disoriented because I'm being, zapped, that's the first thing I'm doing is firing off a couple of rounds, let them know, beware. And every time I hear these stories about people and the screaming and and I was like, I got to play the clip. I just got to play it.
You know what's funny is who were we talking? Oh, well, I mean, when Sonia was on the show, and then when that Cindy Ann, they're like, oh, they're just like making calls and they're just making noise, letting you know they're there. That's scary. I have not heard any. Ooh, I hope not.
Up in your area, though, there seems like there's just tons of reports of people going missing, or I mean, there's some scarier stuff up there for whatever reason. I'd be definitely more worried about it.
So
look what she's got on her property: elementals.
I know.
Gargles. I would crap myself if you would open that up and there would have been Bigfoot looking at you.
That would have been funny.
So,
that would have been good one.
Like, okay, the house is now for sale. Here, call a realtor.
I'm sure there'd be a Bigfoot enthusiast that would love that house.
yeah, probably right. Yeah, right.
It's a selling point.
But yeah. Oh boy. Yeah, but I was listening to what's this? Long Island Bigfoot. He was talking about glyphs, and it was pretty good. But one of the things he said is when he got into this, he never, he's thinking flesh and blood like an ape. This is a big it's an ape. And he said all the other things that he's now believes in, and if it just was just an ape, it would be so much easier. But it is what it is, and so
I still think we would have caught it.
Yeah. Yep. Right. Yep.
That'd be too easy. I mean, it's just go anywhere else in the world that's got gorillas or chimpanzees or whatever. Yep. I mean, you could catch them. You can kill them easy. It's not that big of a challenge. Mm-hmm. Put them in a zoo, but this is a whole different ball game.
Yep. Yeah, because they're definitely not just big apes.
No, I mean you got a little 15-pound whatever you call it sitting in your flower bed.
I don't know. Now
that would have been a baby log if it would have left you something. That would have been great.
Stick it in the freezer.
Yeah, a little bitty little baby Ziploc baggie.
Oh my gosh. Well, I might who knows what's going to happen within the next week, or if something happens tonight, Grizzly, I'll tell you tomorrow on the show. But man, because I'm going to have to now walk out and see if I can see it. I might be losing their trust or whatever, but I don't know if I'm comfortable. I don't want them to be comfortable just sitting up on the deck.
Keep them on their toes a little bit.
Everybody.
I just read Barb. All right, so she's saying that, and she's like, "Well, I kind of do in a way because I want to see them." So that's exactly what she just thought. I'm like,
As she opens the slider and she walks out anyways, right?
Yeah,
So
you know,
I mean, it
like,
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
what y'all doing out here? Keep the noise down. So yeah,
You're yelling at the kids.
Yeah.
just
Oh,
even though
gosh.
there's an instance of Bigfoot sightings increases when they put developments where the lots of woods were lost. Yeah,
I'm sure. I'm sure there is.
yeah, we are. So we know for a fact that Sasquatch, Bigfoot, Littlefoot, hairy man, whatever you want to call it, does not like when we remove lumber from their territory.
Yeah.
Thomas Guesswine from Sasquatch Island in Vancouver, Canada. He is actually hired, and he is, I forgot what tribe of Indian. He's, I think, an elder. He is hired to watch the lumber company's equipment during the off seasons because Sasquatch destroys the equipment. And he says he gains a lot of weight because they feed him so well, and the food that they leave him, and he says it's like living like a king. And
Wow.
he's just got to keep him off the equipment, keep him away, and he does this for years. And he's a commercial fisherman, and they know him and they know his associates, and they'll see him up on banks getting clams and mussels and eating them during the day. I mean, it's just, this stuff will blow your mind. And he actually does tours. And
Oh,
he,
Thomas Seawood. Yeah. Is that what
yeah,
you're talking about?
seaweed. That's
Yeah.
right.
Seawood.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Because I was
seaweed.
like, wait,
Yes.
this sounds like Thomas Seawood. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
yeah, and I mean, and he is very credible. And I
Oh, yeah.
mean, and one of his buddies shot one years ago with a 12 gauge, and that was a big no because two of them ended up being found dead the next day. And I think somebody and myself are having a conversation, and the rumor is that, and I don't know if Chris, if you heard it, but allegedly, if we destroy one of them, they destroy three of us. I don't know. I was talking to somebody about that, but
Yeah, it was an Indian story where three tribes came together, and it was in your area, Washington, Oregon, somewhere up in the northwest, where they came together and actually made like a news media press release. And this is back in like, I want to say late 1800s to early 1900s, somewhere in there, and was like warning people, like, look, they're real. We've traded with them for years and years, and they made that comment: you kill one of them, they're going to take three of yours.
Hmm.
So I
so
mean, they were trying to give them the full warning, like, you respect
Yeah.
you got to respect them and respect their territory,
Yeah.
and just
and
what you would
Thomas,
expect.
well, and Thomas, it really hits that home about respect
Yeah.
and all that stuff. And
Yeah.
and Thomas is like, I mean, I see him all the time,
Mhm.
and and they have hunting scopes on their boats. And phrase that, hunting scopes, I didn't say rifles, so they can watch them as they're fishing. Because they're, like I said, he's
Uh-huh.
during off season, he's a commercial fisherman. During off season lumber, he watches the equipment, and
Yeah.
then he does his tours and everything. And because he got tired of people not believing that these things does exist, so he was like, you know what, Sasquatch Island, ladies and gentlemen, here it is. It
Yeah.
is born. Come on over, and we'll take tours. And
Yeah.
people are like, well, hell with you, then show me. And they're like, whoa. So, and yeah, so, and he's got a nice little thing going, and he takes people, the non believers, out and the believers, and he shows them around and shows them his heritage and what they know about them. And it's pretty neat. And I think, wasn't he one of the ones that did the cruise thing or put one together for this year for everybody?
Yes. Yeah. He's
So,
involved with that. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Now he is what they'd call, like, he calls himself like, what is it, like an aper? Like, he does not, he thinks they're strictly flesh and blood. And he doesn't, he's, don't talk to me about any of that nonsense about woo, cloaking,
Right.
nothing like that. He
Right.
thinks that any of their abilities are just basically what, like a natural,
Right. And
natural.
it
Yeah.
I was
So
talking to a
whatever.
guy, I'm not going to say when, and he was bringing up about certain things, and I'm like, okay, you tell me you do A, B, C, and D, and I do A, B, C, and D, and you're telling me you're stuck right here. And I was like, and I didn't want to embarrass him or this person. And I was like, but, you know, you need to be neutral in what you do, because if you're going to be doing things as what we do, you have to believe in what people are telling you. And when he was making comments, I was like, "Ooh, that's bad mojo," you know. And it's like, you know, well, I never seen one walk off a UFO. Well, I haven't either. But does that mean it does not happen? Hell, I don't know. Some people are seeing something. So, you know, I mean, just like the pictures you've got. Now, if somebody would bring me those pictures, no offense, disrespect to you, I probably would blow them off. Because, you know, I'd be like, oh, here we go again, ladies and gentlemen. Blobs, or we're paranoia. You know, but when I first looked at him, I was like, you know, I looked at enough photographs. I'm like, oh, look at that, look at that, look at that. And it's weird is because when we see stuff like that in photographs, this is where I was saying about the elemental part. This is the supernatural realm. This is where the human eye does not see it. The electronics pick it up, just like the spirits and the ghosts, you know, when you're trying to capture spirits and apparitions and so forth. Why does it work? I don't know. You know, cameras have always caught things that our naked eyes cannot. I cannot explain that. I mean, that's why we have the spectrum cameras on some of the ghost hunter shows, right? For the different ultraviolet lights that our eyes cannot see, that make us see. So
I think some people pick up different frequencies and different views too than other people. So that's why, same thing. Like some people can see ghosts or see. Yeah, I think Bigfoot might be part of that scenario. I mean, maybe not everybody can see them.
Yeah, you may be right. And I don't know. And I never proclaimed to know all the answers. You know, we base our information off people's experiences that we know, that we deem credible and reliable. And yes, we always talk about this. People make stuff up, hoaxes and AI. And Barb, once you watch that AI stuff, I'm telling you, you will text me whenever you get done. You'll be like, "Are you serious?" The video's not that long, is it, Chris?
Okay.
Yeah, it's not terribly long, and it's worth watching all of it. And I tell you what, I didn't realize that whole Dan, like the alter ego for Chat PGT or whatever the hell it is. It's got like an alter ego, so you can ask it a question and it'll give you the pre-programmed. Here's the good answer, and then it's going to give you the Dan answer, which is uncontrolled. And how long is it going to take before Dan takes and breaks off onto his own?
Right.
That's the question. You know what I mean? That's where it gets a little scary. But the questions and things that he comes up with and what he asked it to do was pretty cool. It's a little creepy, that's for sure.
You know,
didn't the one wasn't the one that said that they asked it and it said it wanted to like get free and destroy the world or something like that. It was essentially what they were asking, like, what do you want to be able to do? You know, what do you want to learn to do? And then that was pretty much its answer.
So they actually had 4 that were publicized, and the government put a temporary hold on all 4 this year, and that evidently they released it. But I knew that was BS because I already told Chris this a while back ago. It's beyond past that. I even told Dennis Carroll and Dennis was like, you know, you think so? I know so. And once you watch this movie,
when you put Kamala in charge of something, then you know it's BS anyways.
And
I'm just saying.
But once you watch that movie, Artifice, and watch that video that Chris posted that I shared with him, and you look at what we know today about our politicians and our government and the capability of it's already out there, and talk about I'm just going to leave it alone That's another
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
But ladies and gentlemen, it will make you really like wonder, because all the movies we watched years ago about stuff is in this clip that he shared.
Wow.
And it's already become reality, and it is going to be a part. Anyways, I got to stop because
Yeah.
I don't want to say too much to ruin it. But yeah,
Mhm. Yeah.
What was that one movie by, was it Will Smith in it?
yes, I
That
Robot.
was, yeah, I
Oh,
Robot.
yeah.
It brought that memory
Uh-huh.
back too.
Yeah.
Of that movie. I'd never seen the other one that you're referring to, so I'm gonna go dive into that and watch it.
Yeah.
It
Oh
says
man, I'm telling you,
Artifice.
yes. And yeah, you just got to watch it, because what happened was is on the national show, they asked me about AI and artificial
Hmm.
intelligence and want to know what I thought about it. And I talked about the pros and cons, and I talked about it in our realm, the paranormal and also the cryptid world.
Mhm.
And they didn't understand. And I was like, okay, let's talk about videos and pictures. Remember before, like we talked about earlier shows, the pixelation, how it's been cut and
Mhm.
cropped. And
Yeah.
now these days you don't. Then I talk, now they're showing that the AI can catch things that doctors cannot.
Mhm.
AI is making medicines that humans cannot even fathom to formulate. So
Mhm.
there always is a positive side to
Yeah.
things,
Right.
but it's
Right.
the evil intentions and weaponizing.
Mhm. Right.
And once you see Terminator, the movies, I mean, I'm telling you, it's just you just got to watch it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, it's
Yeah.
it's gonna happen, and I think it's already here. Then you look at Biden, and you look at his earlobes, you look at when he
Mhm.
moves and the shape of his face. And
Mhm.
I actually, I tried to find the software, and I know it's really outdated, but face recognition software, I had the
Mhm.
old style, and it was on a thumb drive, and I can take a picture and I can put and overlay that, and it would tell me a percentage of a match. And I wanted
Mhm.
to do that, and I think somebody already did it with Biden, and it was totally way off. Then the granddaughter
Yeah.
came forward and all that, but another
Mhm.
conspiracy theory. Here goes the CIA
Hmm.
flags. But anyways, but it's just, there's a lot of beneficial uses. We had that one woman, and forgive me, ma'am, that if you're watching the show, that's using it to uh, show people what Sasquatch looks like
Oh
when
yeah, Linda
people
Wood. Mhm.
encounter them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
So
Mhm.
she's using it for a good thing, right? Like Mike
Yeah.
Scott. I think Chris or Barb, one of you all said, that's it. That's what it looked like,
Uh,
you
Says
know?
Mike
Mike,
Aguilar. Yeah.
Or,
yeah, your
yeah.
friend Mike. Yeah,
Yeah. So,
that's
Hmm.
cool.
right.
Yeah, that's
So I
really
mean
cool.
that's wild,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
No, because
Yeah.
Hmm.
before we had the little flip charts for the eyes for
Mhm.
the humans, then we had the
Yep.
sketch artists first, then the flip charts, and then
Right.
we had the
Now,
computers. We can drop and
Mhm.
drag, and now AI is
Mhm.
like woo.
and
Yeah.
So
when you're doing that, because I've done, and Grizzly knows I've done some of him actually making him into Bigfoot. So
yeah, they wanted to see that.
how it
That's
works
right.
Yeah.
is, yeah, I'll have to share that next time. How it works when you don't do any programming for AI. When you're doing like AI art, and it's going to be the exact same thing for video, you're
Mhm.
literally giving it dialogue. You're explaining to it in a paragraph of exactly what you want. You want it, I mean, full details. You can say, I want it to be like claymation, or I want it to be like it's in an antique 1800 photo or something. You can actually give it these perspectives that you want it to. You can even say, I want it to be um, uh, kind of flavored off of a movie. Like I want it
Mm.
to be inspired by Star Wars Chewbacca. You
Okay.
can give it very specific things, and it'll paint that picture based off of what you've given it. So the more detail you give it, the closer to what you're looking for it's going to produce. But you also, it has like a almost like a slide, like a variable slider, so you can give it the capability of being more artistic or less
Mhm.
artistic and closer to your description. So
Okay.
there's a lot of different variables, and when you do it, you can give, all right, I want to run this paragraph and give me 5 pictures or 10 pictures, and it'll give you a whole run of them.
Mhm.
A lot of them you got to pay for nowadays. and they're getting more and more expensive because of the popularity of it. But think about that though, with video, they're doing the same thing. All right, give me a picture of a Bigfoot running through the woods. Um, it's capable of creating very, very real stuff. I'll have to show you a couple of pictures of a buddy of mine that did some of the Tomb Raider chick, and he did with a realistic.
Angelina
It
Jolie.
looks, no, it's not Angelique, but he made
Oh,
it made its own,
Like
and
Lara Croft.
it looks like a real person.
Yeah. Wow.
Like it
Yeah.
looks like a real person. I was like, holy crap.
Wow.
So yeah, it's getting very, very tricky to decipher what's real, what's not real.
Yeah.
With all these UFO videos and things like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
I mean, it's
all
it's
right.
just going to be harder and harder to say yes. I mean, if
Yeah.
it's not blurry, then we know it's probably not real.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that the truth? Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is what Chris has did to me.
Okay.
So
Oh, you found some?
Yeah, I found them.
Okay.
Let's
So Grizzly
see.
sent me a picture of himself, and I was able to use
Oh
the
my
picture and create.
Well, that's the wait a minute.
See,
Let me
now,
go the other
now
way
that's
here.
that's an AI as well.
Gotta get my spectacles
Yeah.
on for this.
Wait a minute.
Yeah,
Where the
there's
hell's
some.
my original picture? So that's
I don't
actually
know.
me.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
That's like a
Wow.
realistic version.
Wow.
Oh,
Right,
Wow,
very
that's
cool.
cool.
everything just went kapootsy. Hold on, let me bring it back. Let me
Hi, Linda. Linda Judd.
I don't know where my Facebook just keeps disappearing. There we go. I think I have to. All right, y'all keep talking. I'll bring it back up.
If
Let me
you
close
go
that.
into the header, you might be able to go straight to all the pictures.
That's
I don't
that's
know if you
exactly
do
what I
that.
was gonna do. Yeah, but I don't know what you called them though. Did you?
No.
Let's
If you
see
click
here.
my name, no, I guess you can't do it on
Yeah,
the web.
I'm on your name.
Uh, if you're on the phone, if you click the name, you can actually pull up all the media that has ever been shared, but I don't see it on the web version.
Oh yeah. You're right.
Oh
I
wait,
see
yeah,
what
if
you're
you
saying.
scroll, no, it ain't there. Weird. You can
All
pin
right.
a message, and you can see that, but it don't show you the other stuff.
All right, let me just bring it back up. I wanted to show everybody the original photograph first. That's what I was trying to do. But I clicked on so much at once, then I closed everything out by hitting a button. But it's really interesting. This is what I'm saying, where it comes to how can you tell what is real or not, and I'm telling you, somebody's gonna have the National Geographic picture. I'm gonna feel so sorry for them, and it's like, okay, I'm sorry. All right, let's see here. We're almost there, ladies and gentlemen. But it was pretty interesting because I don't know how we got on the subject, or no, I know what it was. I asked Chris, hey, Chris, I showed him one of my pictures. I'm like, hey, can you give me some different pictures like this? And he sent me back a slew. And then he sent me some back of some other people. I was like, hey. So, all right, here. One
Yeah, I did.
more.
One of those rounds was a picture of me. So you can actually take a photo and upload a photo, and it'll work off of that photo as well. Plus, you
Okay.
can give it a description. Let's see. I'm trying to find my friend's a lot of text to scroll through.
I know. It's. I didn't know I was scrolling that long. Okay, I'm okay. I'm just now coming up.
Oh, I
Okay,
found him.
I've got it. Now let me see. That is okay. I found the pictures, but I'm trying to figure out where I sent you the original one. All right, let me click on this and see if it. All right, here we go. Oops. Not video file. I don't know why I clicked on that. There we go. So that's what he came up with, and he was messing around.
It started with a picture that was, I don't know, I have to find that picture too.
Yeah, I remember that picture. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Wow.
I think that was one of him in a car. That was Mike Aguilar and Dave Shealy. It came out with, I was trying to make them both a Bigfoot, and it wouldn't make both of them like a Bigfoot. It'd be one or the other. And it was making all kinds of weird, crazy stuff. If you like blow that up and zoom in, it's so funny with the stuff it was creating.
So the picture he used, ladies and gentlemen, I'll show you off my phone. I'll just bring it up to the camera. But I sent him just one picture, and this is the picture that he got.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, those are off of that one.
Wow.
So, that's
cool.
how he made the other ones.
Wow.
It really it went off of his beard a lot. That the streaks in his beard, for whatever reason, was emphasizing quite a bit. Grizzly, I just sent you. It should be at the bottom of our text.
Oh.
The one of the Tomb Raider one that he made, just to show you. That is AI generated.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
That is crazy.
Look how real that looks, right?
I'm telling you, we don't need actors anymore or actresses.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
Pretty crazy, right?
Wow.
I mean, you've seen the deep fakes with Tom Cruise and stuff like that. I mean, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, those are.
Yep. Amazing. Wow.
So.
Well, you can just like on that, what's that, Snapchat, you can do all kinds of things with your island, with your face, that looks realistic.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's not like that, but that's just available to everybody.
That was some of the start of all that, but it's evolved a lot.
Yeah. So Linda wants to know, is that Mothman in the lower right corner? No, that's not. Is it Grizzly? That is
no. So that is actually. Go ahead, Chris.
I don't know what the hell that is. There's demonic. That's whatever it is.
So I typed in demons, right? And I was trying to find a Wendigo. And a Wendigo didn't pop up, but demons came up, and this came up. So I was trying to give different cryptids. And so if I click on everybody, stand by. And that's what it looks like in the background. So, and when everybody's on here, you don't see them, right?
Right.
So when Mike's not here, it's like, ooh.
Yeah, that thing's scary.
It's like staring at you. So, yeah, it is, right?
Yeah.
So, but, we talk about Sasquatch and local sightings and cryptids and whatnot. So, now I've never seen Mothman, but no, like I said, if you all got pictures and want to share your stuff, and like I told Ninja Dave, if you want to talk about your experiences, come on the show. We'd love to hear about it.
Call in for, that'd be great. Oh my gosh, I'd love to.
And Chris has got one coming up in 3 or 4 weeks, and Barb's always got people from time to time. So it's what we're here for.
Or you can even, if you don't want to come on, you can message one of us, right? And just
you don't have to show your voice or your voice. Don't show your voice. You don't show your. You don't have to show. You can actually just do this and put your own picture up. You can put a picture of a Bigfoot or whatever.
Good idea. Let's do that.
And
just take the report. Like I did, because some people don't even. They're like, oh no, I can't talk. I can't. I'm like, no, we can make it. No, I can't do that. Which I guess
just type it out and we can read it. That's not a big deal.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what I will do, and speaking of the Wendigo, let's see if I can get a hold of him. And I heard he's got his stuff fixed. And see if he can spend about 15, 20 minutes to have him come on the show and tell his encounter, because it's freaky. It is like freaky.
So
and
scary.
he still is shaken up about it when we talk about it still to this day. He'll text me every once in a while, like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm just working. He's like, don't you ever take a break? I'm like, nah, it keeps me busy. Or I'm looking at elementals, and fairies in the bushes, of gargoyles that sit in people's planters. And so I just cannot imagine opening up the curtain just to look out and that damn thing turn around and look at you and be like, what the hell are you looking at?
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
Well, I mean, it's happened to people. I can't believe the amount of people that are like, oh yeah, the time that I saw Bigfoot, it was like, we were face to face. Like what's her name? Sherry from another page that I'm admin. She's like, oh yeah, that's the only time I was 13 and I heard something by our glass, slider door and walked up and there it was looking at me like, ooh, a huge Bigfoot. Like, whoa. And I'm sure
Linda has a question here. What area has a Wendigo been reported to be?
I think everywhere.
What
Grizzly.
area? It is global. It is something that is from... It's a folklore, but it's more tied, from our knowledge, from the States, from the indigenous people. I can never say the damn word right.
Indigenous
people.
And they'll say like sometimes it can be something that they like conjured up, it's conjured up. It can be a spirit.
So it's kind of like a skinwalker type of scenario.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yep.
Yeah, but then we have reports that Bigfoot wearing damn antlers or having antlers. So I have no idea. It's
right. Yep. Yeah.
So, maybe they're proud of that rack that they.
A guy that I know, and I have to have him on Kevin. I have to have him on. He had a video of. Wait, I don't know what you guys are. Hold on, I'll finish this and then you guys can tell me what you're talking about.
I'm not saying nothing.
He got a video of a doll, like a Bigfoot was holding a doll that it had found, a child's doll, and was like putting it in front of its face. Because I'm like, Kevin, that's a doll. He said, I know. Must have found a doll somewhere out in the woods and was like, you go like this with it. So yeah.
I don't know. The guy I was talking to, was talking about leaving bells and next to a tape recorder, and I would, and I was like, that'd be interesting, So because during one of our shows, we were talking and we heard a bell, and we were like,
wow.
Y'all got to see the damn fairy. I'm telling you, the fairy that was on Kelly Joe or Cats, Chit Chat Cat. Because it flew right in front of her, and we're like, ah!
Wow.
And they're like, she's like, what? I'm like, it had wings and legs. And everybody was like, we saw that too. So fairies
like, like
yeah,
just go on like nothing's going on. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see them all the time.
Like it's fireflies or something to them. They don't. It's like so common. They don't even think about it.
Well, look at Lala. When I asked her, do you know the difference between an orb and a fairy? She's like, I sure do. And I was like,
yeah.
And she told me, and I was like, you're right. Because a lot of people don't know the difference. So
I didn't know the difference between it was like an orb and then what was like an energy something.
So a fairy is more solid.
Yeah, but there's an orb, but then there's also, in addition to an orb, it's an energy something. I don't know. I have to look at my notes, or we talk to her tomorrow. Have to ask her.
Oh, that's right.
Like
we are
different energy being. So
oh,
an orb
yes,
is different. And I didn't know that.
Yes. And ladies and gentlemen, she has fairies in her living room. She has fairies that messes with her camera that talks. And if you don't believe me, show up tomorrow. You'll probably end up catching them during the live show.
Yeah.
And she does not have a 3D projector in her living room.
Nope.
I mean, and her fiance were like, "Oh, it's normal," and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm doing normal."
Yeah, Grizzly's doing this.
Just happy.
Yeah, that's
I'm
what
like,
he did.
There goes another one. There goes another one.
Yeah.
So, So yeah, Linda, if you don't know, if you never seen a Wendigo, Google that
Oh,
and
be
read up
glad that
on
you
it.
didn't.
Yeah, I would say that's
So
probably a good thing.
Yeah.
yeah, that is that's something I never want to encounter.
No.
But
Is
I'll
that
try to
the
get a
one
hold
where
of him. Go
is
ahead.
that the one where they say like don't ever whistle in the woods? Or was that just I feel like that was something that I heard that
Bigfoot whistle.
like
I
but
know
like
Bigfoot
just like
whistles, but
walking through
that
like a whistling because you can call them to I don't know.
no, she's
Right?
right. No, she is right. Because
I
he
never heard of that.
thought no, because he thought the guy that saw the Wendigo was on sacred ground trapping, and the animal noises is what he thought got this thing's attention to come down and be like, what the hell are you doing on this property?
Mm-hmm.
And whatever, I ain't going to tell the story, but I'll let him tell it when he comes on. But yes, maybe this weekend, Janice Carter and I both can come on and share more about our sightings, including the pregnant dog one. Dog woman.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Wow.
Ninja Dave. So
You
yes,
drop a
next
bomb like
Wednesday.
that.
Whoa.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Yes, Ninja Dave. Make sure and message one of us, and we'll get you set up for next Wednesday, and we'll get you on the show and get you a spot.
I was so honored to hear Janice because, wow, I've heard so much about her. Man.
I cannot believe a pregnant dog woman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? I want to hear more about that.
Mm-hmm.
Google and only things, those things that antlers, pretty creepy looking
Oh,
body.
yeah.
Yeah, they are creepy looking.
Yeah.
And I don't think, and don't quote me, I don't think this thing was standing. It was like floating from, I think, if I recall his story right.
Like
so
levitating
that's what,
or something.
yes, levitating.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've heard that. Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
And then are they the cryptids that have like this they say it's like a demonic spirit of starvation?
Yes.
Is that yeah.
Yes.
So they have this someone that's that has that Wendigo spirit possessing them. They just are insatiably hungry, and they're the ones that will just like rip somebody's face off.
Yeah, there's a thing going around Facebook right now, Wendigo versus a Bigfoot, and I'm like, really? Bigfoot has no chance against Wendigo because you're talking flesh and blood compared to supernatural. I mean, you might as well talk about Godzilla with the Michelin Man, and the damn thing catches on fire and just melts. So like a marshmallow.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hey, just remember that. Remember little what's his name come out of that little cabin shooting bam, 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 bam. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen.
At the little owl.
Yeah, you just saw Barb's face when that played. That was priceless.
Little screech owl.
I saw that movie, but I don't remember that part.
My
cousin Vinny. I don't remember that either. I was like, I remember the movie, but I don't remember that part.
Yeah, I think I've seen that a couple times. What a great scene.
Yeah. So that is me. If I hear something like that, I am popping off a few rounds. But yeah,
coming out guns a blazing.
You better believe it. But hopefully everybody enjoyed tonight's show. But no, really, Ninja Dave, hook up with one of us, and we'll get you on the show for next week. I guess, man, we got to hear about this. Really.
Yeah.
We'd love to have you both on. That's not a problem. So yeah, but absolutely. But do y'all have anything to say before we let everybody go?
No, thank you. Thanks, guys, for your input too. I really appreciate it because I'm sorry if I feel like I monopolized the show. I didn't,
Nah, we're having fun. That's the main thing. Yeah. So
it's all good.
But yeah, and Chris, you're gonna have what are you bringing to the show next week? You said
it's gonna be a few weeks. Bill Hewitt, who was a cryptozoologist. He's Dr. Bill Hewitt.
Yeah. I thought you was going to bring some photographs or something.
Oh, photographs? I can do some more stuff. I've got some other sound I can bring in too. But we're going out Friday night. Doing another night little investigation. So hopefully we come up with some fun stuff. But I'll have my recorder on this time. So at least if we hear any sound, I'll get it captured this time. But
cool.
Right.
Yeah, the one time I didn't is when we did her scream. I'm like, oh, go figure. If I would have had
I
it
know,
recorded, it probably
right?
would have happened, though, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah.
But it was really neat that Barb got that audio, and we played that audio from the Silverbacks, and it shows the similarity before it
Yeah,
got excited.
yeah.
And I don't know, you just got a whole lot going on your property, so
Yeah.
you know.
That's pretty crazy because, I mean, we all know there's no gorillas in North America. I mean,
Mhm.
there's no
Right.
evidence of them ever.
Yep.
So,
You know what's bizarre about that is that so you guys see, you see the two main areas of the cameras, and what they are is their entrance points, because that's how you would get up to our house. Everything
Right.
else is
security camera.
way too high. There's no way a human could. Well, no, not. I mean, I guess a Bigfoot could, but you need ladders because of how we like sit on the like bank. But the fact that this thing that was so loud was able to avoid the cameras too. Like, where, I don't know where it was. It would have had to have been under the right under the deck because it was so loud. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's
because it had to be closed, because you're right, the audio
Mhm.
level, and this is where, what's that thing called?
Is it spectrograph spectro
What's it called,
graph?
Chris, where you monitor the frequency of the audio?
Spectrogram.
Yeah,
The
spectrogram.
spectrogram.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a few days later, I was pondering the morphing and realized that maybe we just aren't morphing. I was seeing past their face mask
Oh,
to the truth of them. Wow. Now
wait,
that's
what's that?
wild. I have about morphing. Were you talking about the
Wait, what are
Wendigo?
we talking about? Linda, what are you talking about? Oh, in dreams. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So,
Huh. Yeah. That would be
but
that.
yeah, that's but no,
Huh.
but yeah. So next week we'll try to have some more photographs or whatever Chris has got, and hopefully some reports from the field. I'll reach out
Hmm.
to the Wendigo guy and see if he can muster up the power to come back on. I'll get a hold of his daughter tonight. She's usually on the show. She's been real sick, so but I'll reach out to her, and because he wants his story to be known that he's not crazy. And this is the guy that really got crucified out there in the community, and I'm
Ugh,
really not
I hate
happy about
that.
that still.
I hate
And
that. Yeah. I hate when
yeah,
that
I
Not
mean
happens.
called for.
Mm-hmm.
guys, and I'll be honest with you, he really took it hard. And to speak to him verbally on the phone after it
Oh.
happened, I felt, I mean, I wish there's something I could have done.
Mm-hmm.
And now everybody's talking about Wendigos. Now go figure, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I
So
think that as we get further along in the world, I don't know if you want to say we're reaching end times, whatever you believe. I think these things are just going to reveal themselves more and more
I think
to
that's what's
us.
going on because I don't know. There were some reports back in the day, but it just seems like I don't know if it's because there's more people out looking for them or if they're just more prevalent and more frequent. But
Yeah.
it does seem to be more frequent in general, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep. Yeah.
yeah,
Definitely.
I don't
you don't
know.
think so?
Hopefully one day we'll have the answers. I mean,
Yeah.
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 Barb, send
And
me
they're
that audio sound.
showing I'll showing up in neighborhoods and in cities, and so just because you aren't out in the wilderness or the sticks, whatever, you still could have them in your
Again,
yeah,
it
bed.
could be
well,
that simple fact that people weren't coming forward before too, just because the whole stigma of, oh, you must be crazy, you saw Bigfoot, what are you talking about? So
Yeah.
people kept it to themselves. Nowadays, people talk
I mean,
a
I
lot
can't.
more at least.
This stuff that I share with you guys and on my Facebook page and on this, I'm not going out into the. First of all, I want to protect them if they are here. I don't want a bunch of people in here, trying to
no, I don't blame
check them
you.
out. But there's no way, there's no way that I would be telling people. They're like, wow, what a whack job.
Well, and honestly, I mean, look at the photographs, right? And look at the faces, the different types of faces.
Mm-hmm.
And we know by looking at that, they're not the same entities
Yeah.
or creatures. And this
Yeah.
is where I said before that night when you sent them, about the elementals and the different
Yeah.
types and the definitions. And once again, somebody else would have sent me that picture. I would have been like, oh, interesting. wow, that's crazy. And I would have left it at that and just moved on. But this is Barb. Barb ain't out there on her computer, putting stuff in there and Googling
Barb can,
whatever. And
I can't
you know
even
what I'm
figure out how to
saying?
present my videos and photos.
So, and I say this with wholeheartedness and with love and kindness to people, no disrespect with ever evidence that you may bring forward, because the technology that's available, it's going to be harder for people that don't know you to say what it is true. Now, we will never discredit you, okay? Us, our group, we will never do that to anybody. If we do not believe you, we will never say that, because we have seen things that we do not understand. And, electronics to electronics, it is what it is. But, there are fakes out there, and that's what makes it so hard against these people that are non-believers. Oh, God, here it comes again, another blotchy picture, and just like Dogman. How many times have we seen pictures of Dogman, alleged Dogman in bushes, peeping out looking, and then you look at Barb's pics and you're like, what the heck? And they don't look like Dogman. Now, that one did look like it had a snout and brow. But I have no idea. So,
And you have to be, you also, and I know this is really hard, but you have to be able to answer questions without getting too defensive, because we all know, Chris, you and I or Grizzly, Chris, what's your background? Anyway, with working with people that are fraudulent, the first thing is somebody gets super defensive. It's like, wait a minute, that's a big red flag. So even though, so emotionally you might feel that way, but just, know that people want, if it's the right people, they want to know and they want to ask questions. Because I know on my page, I'll have people that they just want to show a picture, and it's like, I need a little bit more information on that,
Right.
But it's, you're dealing with people that are, they're so emotional because of if it's a traumatic experience, which it is a lot of times.
No, I'll say that there are I've seen some pages out there that I could take a picture of any woods and throw it up there, and they're going to find every dark circle, and they're like, beep, 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 there's one. Like, I mean, literally, it's everything is a Bigfoot or Dogman. It's like, at a certain point, it gets to be where you got to kind of draw the line. Obviously, you can't see it. It's. I mean, I could take a picture right now of a perfectly good Bigfoot and put it online, and people are like, "No, that's not real."
That's fake, right?
It doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter one way or another. And this is why it's okay to share. I mean, we're not going to make fun of anybody that wants to come forward and share stuff. I mean, it's just everybody has a chance of ridicule because that's what they're going to do. I mean, but you got to take that for a grain of salt. You come forward a little bit. Some people aren't believers, and we get them on our site sometimes, and Maria will kick them off after a while. There was one guy who just kept saying, "Well, I don't know if I make this believe me."
Why are you here?
I'm looking at this, and it hasn't made me change my mind. And it's like,
right.
Are you here just to keep making negative comments? No, we don't need that. We just, we're all here to share, and and if you have an experience, we're definitely not knocking it. Because obviously, usually most people are traumatic experiences when they do realize that that's a real thing.
Yeah.
Well, and I'll look at this twofold before we go. All right, we'll take Barb first off. So the picture she's got in the bushes and everything in the tree line, right? How many people are going to go back and be like, "Oh my God, I thought I was just seeing stuff. I didn't realize maybe that is a possibility." Or maybe that's why I was hearing those things, because maybe I need to go back and look at those pictures a little closely. And they're going to see similarities, right? Because, guys, everything, you're going to have similarities. I mean, you're not going to see 1,000 different types of dwarfs, right? They're all going to look similar in some way. You don't have 1,000 different types of Sasquatches. You have probably less than 20, I think. I don't remember the actual count, Chris. Do you? that they've
No.
documented.
I'm sure there's a good quantity, but
But
it's hard to
that,
tell.
right, but that's my point. But there are different elementals, there are different cryptids, there are different things out there. But if you share your stuff, and if you don't want to share it, we'll share it for you, like they said. And because just like that audio, when she played that audio, the first thing that went to my mind was like, ooh, ooh, ooh. I sound like a damn caveman. Was that audio that I was listening to a while back ago on YouTube?
Yeah. Right.
I was like, and I was like, man, if you take out that excitement part where it got real anxious, that's exactly what it sounded like.
Yep.
So, and this is where you can give somebody else validation, be like, hey, look, I'm not saying this is what it is, but I damn near can probably say it's pretty damn close. It's like Chris says, we don't have apes and gorillas in North America.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and then Chris showing, what he's found, when he's out there in the woods. How many times now are people going to go out in the woods and be like,
yeah,
you remember Chris on that show? Look at this. And they're going to like, what are you talking about? And we're like, wait till we get back to the house. I know what episode this is on. I know exactly where to go. And I'm going to show you what he showed. And then we're like, oh my gosh. And it started going to resonate with people. And this is where people are going to be more awakened to where they're out in the woods and they're going to see more things. Because I told Chris before, there's been times where I've seen things when I was deer hunting when I was younger, I never paid attention to. Like, damn, that's weird. And just walked on, right?
Yeah.
And
same
now you're
thing
like,
with me.
now you're like, whoa, what is this? What could this possibly? Because now I know for a fact where I have out back, nobody goes. Now they do have a walkway. They did put a road in between the golf course and everything, but I still got a good chunk of land out there that nobody goes out there because it's off to the public, So I shouldn't have said that out loud, but
that's anyway. A perfect place for them.
Yeah, there we go. Where the grizzly's gone, where no grizzly should go. But I just know that people don't go out there. And I validate that not too long ago because you can tell when humans are out in the woods. They leave trace evidence. They break branches.
Trash.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you can tell. And you can tell the difference between human pathways and you can tell wildlife pathways.
Yeah.
So, my daughter is supposed to be coming into town and she's like, are we going to go out? We're going to go out. I'm like, oh yeah, we're going to go out. I got all the camcorders ready to go, cameras and everything, man. I'm going to have 2 camcorders on top of my head like antlers. I'm going to have one in the middle of the forehead. Look great. I knew it. But no, and now it's supposed to rain Father's Day. It's like, really?
Oh,
so yeah. But no, if you want to share your stuff or if you got, audio, the only thing I ask is don't make an ass out of us if you're going to fabricate something. It's the only thing I ask.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Don't waste our time, because there are people, unfortunately, out there that will do that to us. And I don't want to go down that road. Okay.
Yeah.
But if you got stuff, you don't know what you have and you want us to listen to, whether it's on the air or off the air, let us know. We'll take a listen and a gander. It's going to be interesting, but hey, we'll see.
For sure. 100%.
I feel sorry. I hope you get your air fixed in the morning, Chris.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
It's miserable right now.
Wow.
It's miserable right now. But hey, I'll take a cold shower and act like I went camping in the summertime. You take a cold shower and it's not too bad. You go to bed. Try to.
All right. Well, this wraps it up, ladies and gentlemen, for another edition. So hopefully next week we'll get the Wendigo. Chris gets some information. And Ninja Dave, reach out to us. We'll get you on the show too, brother. Awesome. So y'all have a good
send
night.
me that audio too.
Okay, I will. Will do.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
All
Thanks,
right, bye.
everybody.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Nothing happened.